thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feeling like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to
All right, all right, all right. You know what? That song never gets old. Never gets old. No matter how many times I play it, no matter how many times it comes on across the computer, it never gets old, bro. I hope everybody's doing great. I hope y'all having an awesome Monday. My name is 12 Gauge. Welcome to my channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope y'all had an awesome weekend. If you're new to the channel, I hope that you find something that interests you, something that keeps your attention and keeps you coming back. Because that's my purpose is to have people entertained and to give people the opportunity to learn different things. So, like I said, my name is 12 Gauge and I will be your host. And if you're a returning sub or mod, welcome. Can you dig it? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It is a full moon tomorrow, so things might be seeming a little crazy for you. It might be seeming a little off. Don't y'all be howling at the moon. Don't be doing any of that. Don't be chasing cars or, any of that craziness, Might get you in trouble if you do, but hey, it's up to you. I want to tell you guys really quickly that I'm on call again, so if I can't say bye and it's not a copyright and I just go cold, don't take it personal. I'm on call. I gotta, I probably will just end the stream or I'll mute it and put some music on while I take the call. And if I have to be called out, I will just end the stream and I'll make it up to you guys. Okay. So um just putting that out there. I don't know if y'all have heard about this crime or not. Or let me go ahead and put the disclaimer because I'm hoping to have quite a bit of people in the chat tonight. If you're coming in here to chat, please keep it classy, get along, drama free. Let's have a good time, man. No need in causing drama in the chat. Just come in here, have a good time, and meet new people and, get along. Let's all get along. So let me get back to the case. I don't know if y'all have heard of this case. His name was Ali. I don't want to butcher his last name, but he went under Jinnkid on TikTok, and he was very popular. He was like going viral with his videos, and he had a beautiful wife. They had a child, and it turned very tragic. And I wanted to introduce y'all to this because I think Friday night I'm going to show the cross examination in the court. So I want you to have some kind of background, in order to kind of go back on. So let me go ahead and put the thing up there to let people know this is fair use. Hold on a second. Yeah, the fair's in town here also, so it was here Friday, Saturday, and tonight, I think. And then it's going on its way. I haven't been to the fair in forever. I like going to, they have a thing called trade days where they have funnel cakes and all that good stuff. They have all that good stuff going on. Hey, Taxes, I want to pick your brain on some things. So if you could, I don't know, give me a way to contact you because I want to pick your brain on something, as far as, you know, being in custody. So I'll probably put my email back up on my page. So just shoot me an email if you would, okay? So with that being stated, let me put this up here. Let me give y'all some background on this case because I watched this today and I was like, man, I've never heard of this. So, I don't know how many of y'all have heard of this case. If you've heard of this case, give me a one, okay? Give me a one. Or I'll go ahead and put my email in the chat, okay? I just don't want a lot of people to have it, you know what I mean? There you go. All right. Like I do all the time, I'm going to stop and commentate because I did watch this earlier. Um, this was about 2017, 18, 19, 20, and the trial was in 21. The murders, I think, were in 2021. But let's go ahead and watch. Okay, that is the ex-husband. That's the one who committed the crime, and he was the one that was the TikToker. He was the one that was famous. He went under Jinnkid, as you can see there in the left corner, Jinnkid. He did impressions, and he was a comedian, but he really let the online world get to him bad.
On social media, some lives seem perfect. Their accounts are filled with images of the latest travel destination, broad smiles, close up shots of fancy cocktails, and wonderfully romantic relationship milestones. But we know better than to buy into that completely. At least we should. Social media allows users to present a carefully crafted version of their lives that highlights the positive aspects while hiding the less glamorous ones. There's no time for challenges or failures. So, if we look carefully, could we see someone's struggles in a sea of filtered pictures and edited videos full of shiny, happy people? In this video, we examine the seemingly utopian lives of the Abulabans, a couple that experienced a meteoric rise followed by a spectacular fall.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it there for a minute because I don't want that song to give me a copyright. Um, so as you can tell, this individual did a lot of TikTok videos. When he first started, he was doing YouTube, he was doing Facebook, and he would go live. And he was trying to he was aspiring to be an actor in Hollywood, Los Angeles area, and he was a comedian, and he also did impressions. He was quite good. One of the many impressions that he did was Tony Montana from Scarface, and he was really good. And they were doing a lot of cosplay and things like that, so it was quite interesting.
San Diego is the second largest city in California. It is the eighth largest in the U.S. population-wise. This Southern California city is known for its ideal weather, miles of sandy beaches, renowned architecture, and buzzing artistic and cultural attractions. For many young people, East Village is the place to see and to be seen. In the heart of downtown San Diego, it is advertised as a sexy destination bursting with rooftop bars, cafes, boutique shops, galleries, live music venues, luxury hotels, and restaurants. Many East Villagers live in apartments, and some live in luxury high rises like the Spire San Diego building. Its website boldly claims, "Everything about this building tells the world you have arrived." This is the setting for the events you are about to hear. There are three main parties in this matter. They are as follows. Anna Marie Abulaban was living her best life. Young, attractive, and charismatic, seemingly straight out of Central Casting. Anna was a 28-year-old social media influencer and content creator. She was born in Japan and raised on a military base where her father was a high-ranking Navy official. She received a university education in the Philippines before relocating to the United States. On TikTok and other social platforms, she appeared flawless, happy, and successful. She had roughly 11,000 followers on TikTok.
If I had come here 5 years ago, we'd be millionaires right now, right?
Yeah, okay, Tony.
What do you mean, yeah, okay? Why you so busy?
I'm on Instagram, man.
On what?
Tony, you don't have Instagram? Look at that, man. See that?
What's that chick?
That's Rebecca, 2006, man.
Venga. Coño, man, I know that name.
No, not Rebecca, man. Rebecca, look.
30
So, like I was telling you, he's pretty good at doing impression, but the dark side of the web or the dark side of the internet or whatever you want to call it. Um, people get so enthralled in being behind this mic and presenting a side of themselves that really it's hard for them to live up to if their lives are not really about that. So whenever you have such a perfect life that you're presenting to your audience, when things start to go wrong, many times you start to struggle because you don't want to show your audience, hey, things have changed in my life. They're not as perfect as I was presenting them to be.
Year-old Ali Abulaban was born in Staten Island, New York. He was raised in Virginia and attended Stonewall Jackson High School in Manassas. Ali most recently resided in San Diego. He was best known as a successful internet personality. He had accrued nearly 1 million followers on TikTok and had 200,000 subscribers on YouTube under the moniker Jinnkid. Among his most viewed posts were comedic sketches and impersonations of Tony Montana, the well-known lead character from Brian De Palma's 1983 film Scarface. Ali's Scarface impersonations gained millions of views, and eventually, people outside of TikTok noticed his talent as well.
Hey, Jen, how are you? It's Angelo and...
Hey, Jen. Hey, Manny.
Manolo.
One of you's Manolo.
Well, I think Jim plays Al, and then his buddy plays Manny Rivera.
No, he's a good Al.
Yeah, he's a very good Al.
Yeah. You're a pretty good me. All
Hey,
right, man, keep it up.
We love what you guys are doing.
Ali was a rising internet star who portrayed himself as a funny, confident young family man on social media. "29-year-old Rayburn Barone was a resident of San Diego by way of Mexico. He was a close friend of Anna's and beloved brother, son, and nephew. He is described as someone who values his family and friends above all else. A then 21-year-old Anna was a resident of Okinawa, Japan when she first met the then 22-year-old Ali in 2014. At that time, Ali was stationed in Japan while serving in the Air Force. According to police records, a physical altercation occurred one evening between Ali's party, Anna's party, and other patrons at a local bar. According to a police detective, the incident was significant enough that it resulted in Ali being other than honorably discharged from the Air Force. However, all was not lost for Ali as he and Anna began dating and eventually entered into a relationship. Anna gave birth to their daughter in April 2016. They became husband and wife in 2017 and soon after that relocated to Virginia.
I mean, it's tragic because they look good together. You know what I mean? And if I don't know if his TikTok stuff is still up, but it's Jinnkid, Jinnkid. So I think he has YouTube stuff as well. So, I mean, you can go check it out if it's still up. I don't know if it is.
It was from Virginia that Ali first began posting impersonations of his favorite movie character, Tony Montana, aka Scarface. His videos quickly went viral.
This is my voice one day after watching Scarface. It's a pretty good film. I love it. It's a little extreme at some points, but great film. This is my voice 1 week after watching Scarface. Oh no, fuck! 1 month watching Scarface. The greatest movie I ever seen in my life. You're not gonna find a better movie. Coño, the fucking guy from Blockbuster. He keeps saying I have to return the DVD. You're not gonna get it back.
Around this time, Anna also became a social media content creator. Her main focus was general lifestyle aesthetics, and she often shared loving moments with her husband and daughter. It was all positivity all the time. Occasionally, the couple would collaborate and share videos aligned with their image as a fun, loving, and successful young couple. By January 2021, Ali's growth on his social media sites had exceeded all expectations. But while he had become popular on social media, he dreamed of expanding beyond the internet. So, in February 2021, the young family relocated to San Diego, where Anna's friends were, and Ali would be closer to Hollywood. They found an apartment on the 35th floor of the luxury high-rise, the Spire San Diego. On the surface, everything was falling neatly into place.
So what was going on is, he was he was working for the government, so he was making pretty well. Plus, he had gone viral on TikTok, so, all the views and everything that he was getting, obviously they give a monetary check or whatever, royalty. So, and I believe that Anna would just stay at home mom. I'm not sure though. I think she worked as well, but I'm not for certain. But by the time they moved to San Diego, see, I watched the documentary on Peacock. So if you have Peacock, you can go watch the whole documentary, so you can understand exactly what went on. Because it goes into more detail. This was just something that I wanted to present that somebody else did to give you kind of an insight. So when I'm talking about the trial and I'm showing the court cross-examination, that way you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Place for the next stage of their lives. However, within months of moving to San Diego, The couple's perfectly curated image would be tarnished by accusations of extreme jealousy, infidelity, physical abuse, and frequent police encounters. Interviews with the couple's family and friends revealed that Anna and Ali's relationship drastically differed from what was presented to their TikTok followers. Shortly after the move to San Diego, Anna reconnected with her friends and her social life thrived. Initially, Ali was part of that, but according to Louis Marinari, Ali's close cousin, Anna's friends did not enjoy spending time with Ali. Marinari said he just became super jealous because his wife was going out with friends, he wasn't involved, and he wanted to control her. Marinari described Ali as obsessive and controlling. He constantly asked for Anna's whereabouts and who she was with. He also described Ali as a serial cheater who felt his philandering was okay, but would be considered disloyal for his wife to cheat. Additionally, Marinari said that he had seen markings on Anna and that she kept images of the bruises. Apparently, Ali, who made a name for himself by portraying the drug kingpin Scarface, eventually developed a drug habit of his own. Marinari stated that while out one day, Ali pulled out a bag of cocaine. Marinari told Ali, "You're going to get us in trouble." He's like, "I'm Jinnkid. Nobody can touch me because I'm Jinnkid." According to his cousin, Ali soon exhibited mood swings and abusive behavior. It was not just friends and family.
So this story also bases a lot of domestic violence, and you know, it starts off slow and it starts off very, very subtle. If you know anybody who's exhibiting any of these signs, you might try to get them some help, because if they're being alienated from their families or from their friends, or they're always having somebody monitoring their conversations, or they're in constant arguments, or they have zero to little privacy, or they have any marks, or their emotional connection to reality changes, you might suggest to them to get some kind of treatment or help.
Who were aware of the turbulence in the Abulaban household. Police records show that from July to October 2021, at least 9 calls were made from the Spire apartment to the San Diego Police Department. There were also numerous incidents in which the building security responded to complaints regarding the Abulabans. One such incident occurred early to mid-September. A neighbor heard items being thrown, smacking sounds, and Anna screaming as the Abulabans fought in the hallway. One neighbor observed Anna and her daughter both crying. Anna, appearing nervous and scared, knocked on the neighbor's door for help. The neighbor testified that Anna claimed Ali had hit her and confiscated her cell phone. She asked them to borrow their phone so she could call 911. However, Anna took the phone to her apartment and called her family instead. According to court documents, Ali went to the neighbor's apartment to apologize for the previous day's incident. Ali told the neighbor that he suspected Anna was unfaithful and asked the neighbor to inform him if he ever saw her with other men. On or about September 16, Anna moved out of the couple's San Diego apartment and temporarily stayed in Virginia with Ali's parents. Police records indicate that Anna had decided to end her marriage to Ali after the domestic disturbance and knowledge of his infidelity, but Ali was fighting it. Amid these serious personal issues, Ali continued to promote his brand. He shared a post on TikTok dated September 25, in which he met the former Scarface actor Stephen Bauer, who played the role of Manolo Manny Rivera. While Ali was out rubbing elbows with stars, Anna and her daughter returned to San Diego on October 7th. They stayed with a friend named Claire. 11 days later, Anna asked Ali to move out of their Spire apartment so she and their daughter could reside there exclusively. He agreed and went to a hotel in the Mission Bay area, roughly 20 minutes away. However, Ali secretly made and kept a copy of their apartment key. On Thursday, October.
Let me give you a little bit more insight than what he's giving you. During all this time, he was being very belittling. He was recording all the interactions with his wife while he was sitting there belittling her, calling her a B, you know, um, asking her why she didn't have sex with him anymore. She must be cheating. Um, was she cheating on him and, all these things. And she's like, at one point says, I don't love you anymore. I'm sorry. And at this point, he had also testified, and you're going to see in the trial that he testifies that his mom was having an affair on his dad. So I think he was kind of having reenactments from his own mother doing that to his father. So that doesn't excuse any of this. So don't think that I'm co-signing for him. But I believe that the fact that he felt disrespected by his mother in that aspect, that he was fixated on not being disrespected, plus the culture he comes from. Women are supposed to be subservient, and a lot of women when they might grow up in another culture, but when they come to the US, they become, Americanized. Your woman ain't your property, and the Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away. She chooses to lead, and it's her choice. Yeah, that's true. And that's some of the stuff that the documentary exposes, and it's very well written.
21, Anna had planned to obtain a temporary restraining order against Ali. But as fate would have it, it was too late to be of any use. At about 3 p.m., neighbors reported hearing 4 consecutive gunshots, followed by a brief pause and 2 additional gunshots. Ali was observed at that time by neighbors pacing the hallway and was seen moments later in an elevator. According to police records, at approximately 3:11 p.m., local police received a 911 call from an anonymous male. The caller explained he was a concerned resident at the Spire building and had discovered 2 people dead in a 35th floor apartment. Police instructed the caller to remain at the scene, but the caller did not comply and fled.
And we have a team in place. The witness describes the suspect as a Middle Eastern male that goes by the name of Ali. He was wearing a black sweater hoodie. And for units to be advised that the suspect described is our RP, Ali, who called this in. He drives a black Jeep Wrangler. It's a Virginia plate unit, George Adams. He left shortly after making the call. 517 yellow, 2 down, inside the apartment. 517 yellow, we're making entry, clearing the residence now. Clearing the residence for 1475 Island.
15 yellow, we're clear. We have...
Well, he did try to use that, not really insanity, but he used the crime of passion, that he walked in and saw his wife and with that Ray guy. What was premeditated though, and this is what got him, was he had went in, he had kept the key, he had told his wife because she was looking for an apartment, and he told her, "Hey, I'll just go to a hotel, you and the baby or the girl can come and live at the apartment." Well, he kept an emergency key, and while she was at work or picking up the child, he walked in and he smashed up everything, put a tracker kind of voice recorder type thing on his child's iPad, put it under the couch or something, and then he monitored what kind of conversation were going on. Well, his wife called that guy that she was having an affair with. He comes over. Ali hears all this stuff going on the iPad. He doesn't realize who the man is. And then he drives over there and he walks in, with the extra key, and he turns this all on his phone. He's going up to the 35th floor. He has his iPhone recording every movement plus video. So you can hear him talking to somebody, and then he exits the elevator and you can see him actually walking, opening the door. You hear the gunshots, and then he walks out, and then he comes back, and then that's when he's screaming, "Anna, Anna, oh my God." So he was trying to make it look like somebody else did it. So yeah, they were trying to get premeditated.
2 down.
Number 2 down, are they breathing?
26 before, can I clear fire range?
We're checking now.
32 Nora, medics are coming 97.
516 yellow, both subjects have no pulse.
When police arrived at the scene, Detective Ricardo Escalante said they found 28-year-old Anna Abulaban and 29-year-old Rayburn Cardenas Barone sitting on a couch with gunshot wounds to the head and face. The two victims were pronounced dead at approximately 3:31 p.m. 45 minutes after the 911 call, Ali was located driving his black Jeep Wrangler eastbound. At the time of his arrest, his 5-year-old daughter was in a vehicle with him. Also with him was a Glock 419 and a gun safe with 100 rounds of ammunition and 3 magazines. Detectives said the ammunition had the head stamp of a 9mm RP Luger, consistent with the shell casings and ammunition found at the apartment crime scene. Ali was considered the primary suspect. Ali's daughter was placed with a social worker. During the course of a forensic interview, the 5-year-old said that her father explained police cars were there because Daddy hurt Mommy, and that's why he's going to jail. She was asked why Daddy hurt Mommy and answered, because he's crazy. She stated that she saw her father hit her mom and that only Dad hurts Mom. Investigators examined surveillance video of the apartment door and elevator cameras from the day of the shooting. The footage helped detectives develop an accurate timeline of the double homicide. Finally, detectives gathered and presented their evidence to the district attorney. An arraignment was held on Monday, October 25, in which the prosecutor laid out the allegations and charges against Ali Abulaban.
So, class, tell me what an arraignment is. Y'all type it in the chat if you know what the arraignment is.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Doug Miller, Primary Public Defender's Office. On behalf of Ali Nasser Abulaban, his true name do appear on the face of the complaint. He enters a not guilty plea, denial to all allegations. He's been advised of his constitutional rights, requesting the primary public defender be appointed, and we are willing to do a time waiver for the preliminary hearing, requesting a status for this Thursday.
Very good. Not guilty pleas to all counts and allegations as alleged in the people's complaint ending 191 are entered on behalf of the defendant through counsel. The office of the primary public defender is appointed for all purposes in this matter. People as to bail.
Your Honor, the people are requesting no bail in this case pursuant to California Constitution, Article 1, Section 12, and Penal Code Section 1275. The defendant was married to...
Very good, Rondi. Very good. And I do see that. I see it. You see it, right? Right there? You see him with the mask on? All you see the bushy eyebrows? Yeah, I see it.
To the victim, Anna Marie Abulaban, and they have a 5-year-old daughter. The victim, Ms. Abulaban, was leaving the defendant and ending their marriage. She had asked him to leave their apartment in downtown San Diego, Spire San Diego apartment complex. She had asked him to leave on October 18th. Unbeknownst to Ms. Abulaban, the defendant made a copy of the apartment key.
Well, a piece of information that wasn't released in this so far anyways, as soon as he killed them, he called his mother and he was on the phone with her and he was caught on camera stating, I just killed Anna. I just killed Anna. I don't know what guy came over me. I just killed Anna. And that's caught on video, him saying that.
And kept it to enter wherever he wished. The defendant then left and was staying at a hotel. Part of the reason that Ms. Abulaban left the defendant was due to prior domestic violence. There was a reported incident in September of 2021 where the defendant pushed down his wife, causing injuries to her. The child, Amira, has witnessed domestic violence at home, has witnessed his father hurt her mother, and the defendant had been in possession of a black firearm, which he had showed to his daughter, Amira, and has asked her to hold it in the past. Amira has seen this gun as well as bullets in the home. The defendant was then stalking the victim, essentially, calling her and texting her repeatedly, and she was ignoring him. up until the point of October 21st, when the defendant entered the apartment without her knowledge, without anyone present, and he vandalized the apartment using the key that he had duplicated. He called Ms. Abulaban telling her that he had vandalized the apartment, and then he set up an application on their daughter's iPad where he could monitor live conversations in the apartment on his.
I wonder why courtrooms are so echoey. I hate that crap. Like, even the court that I attend, to go watch trials or take juveniles over there, it is so echoey. Like, you can barely understand what's being stated. You have to really pay attention or you're like totally lost. Look at that look right there. Does that look like somebody who would lose it and kill their wife? What do you think that look is saying right there?
His personal cell phone. The defendant hid the iPad in the apartment, in the bedroom, and then left. The defendant was monitoring this application, and when he heard his wife with another man inside the apartment, he got a loaded gun, he put it on a holster on his left hip, and he drove from the hotel in Mission Bay to the downtown San Diego apartment complex. He went up the elevator to the 30-foot floor. He ran from the elevator to the apartment. He immediately fired 6 rounds from his firearm. First, he shot Rayburn Barron 3 times. The bullets entered his neck, his cheek, and the back of his head at close range. And then he fired at his wife, leaving 1 gunshot wound in her forehead. Again, from close range. The defendant fled.
I mean, we're going to be facing a court trial in the near future with a case that we all enjoy to follow. And I believe it's going to be this kind of emotional. I mean, I really do believe once they start putting out stuff out there, whether this individual did it or whether he did not, it's going to get emotional in that courtroom. Listen to the families. I don't blame them, man. That is terrible to hear this about your loved ones.
At the apartment, neighbors had heard the gunshots, witnessed the defendant leaving the apartment. Then he made a phone call to his mother, admitting that he shot and killed his wife. This was on video surveillance in the apartment complex. The defendant then fled the building, went to pick up his daughter from school, still had a loaded gun in his car, told his daughter that he heard mommy, and then he was soon apprehended by the police. The defendant confessed to the detectives on the case that he shot his wife and her friend because he was accusing her of cheating on him. He admitted that he had made a copy of the key, that he had vandalized the apartment, that he was stalking his wife, and that he had entered and killed both of them. Based on all of these facts, I do not believe that any bail should be set. This should be a no bail case. The defendant is clearly a danger to the community. He is a flight risk. His parents live in Nevada and in Virginia, and he certainly could flee if he is released on bail. Certainly he's a danger to his daughter as well because of the prior history of violence and showing her a gun. So the people are requesting no bail and a full criminal protective order for Amira based on the facts that I have alleged, where I believe that not only is she a witness, but the defendant can influence the testimony by speaking with her even from jail.
Mr. Miller, as to bail and argument, sir.
At this time, Your Honor, we'll submit, asking that the court reserve the bail review issue for his retained or assigned attorney.
All right, very good. The court does take into consideration the totality of the facts and circumstances as stated by the Deputy District Attorney. I've also had an opportunity to review the people's motion to deny bail. At this time, pursuant to California Constitution, Article 1, Section 12, as well as Penal Code Section 1275, the people's request that this court set no bail. As the defendant is charged with a capital crime, there are 2 separate victims. It is potentially a special circumstance murder. At this time, bail is denied. I also find by clear and convincing evidence that the defendant stands before me having committed 2 violent felonies, there is a substantial likelihood that his release would result in great bodily harm to others. As such, the people's request that this court deny bail to protect public safety is granted.
Ali was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, a gun use allegation, and a special circumstance allegation for committing multiple murders. Abulaban could face the death penalty if convicted. He pled not guilty to all charges, and a preliminary hearing was scheduled for January 7, 2022. On December 9, 2021, Ali was offered the opportunity to present his side of the story to a local news station.
Part of the downfall because my wife brought us. She wanted me to move her out here with all her friends to a life where there's Taco Tuesday, Women Wednesday, Party Saturday, Bar Sunday. And this whole everything, it's my craft, it's my baby. That's what I do. I wanted to be an actor. And I was right there. The weekend before all this happened, I was in LA at the Comedy Store. I was talking to producers. I was about to have a talent agent. It was right there.
Your family says that your social media fame changed you. They say that you were doing cocaine, didn't really care about the consequences. Nope. Are they right?
That's false. My family doesn't know anything because they never cared.
I asked again about his cocaine use.
Do you think that made you snap? Do you think it changed you?
Yeah, it messed with my brain. It made me violent, it made me like aggressive, you know? When I'm on it. Yeah, I was listening on the house with the iPad through my phone.
So when you heard Rayburn's voice, you went to.
I didn't recognize him. I didn't know who it was.
But what were you thinking?
I was freaking out. Oh my God, I caught her. Oh my God. There's a man. And then guess what? Right here. Nightmare. R&B music. I'm like, don't do it. I'm screaming.
As you're driving to the apartment.
I'm screaming. I'm like, don't do it.
What happens when you get to the apartment?
I go up and I see them.
What did you think? What did you think?
They were nothing. I didn't see that. I don't. It was a blur. And I felt like I was on the passenger seat of my own body. But when I opened the door and saw who it was, broke my heart. And to see her kissing Ray on my couch with his feet on my table, with my I'm running my apartment, my life, in the house that my daughter sleeps in, on the furniture that I put together. How do you expect a man to feel? Happy? Oh, I guess that's the end of my marriage. No! That's my family!
Did you have a gun in the car?
What do y'all think so far listening to this interview? Does he seem a little unhinged to you? What do y'all think? Give me some feedback. This is intense, bro. This is intense. Like I tell you, that Peacock documentary. It is really kind of hard to watch, but it tells the story. Do you think he's acting right here, or you think he's being sincere?
I picked her from school so that I could drop her off at a safe location at my dad's wife's brother, who lived an hour away. But police surrounded me on the highway.
Why did you pick her up?
I picked her up.
From school? Why did you pick her up from school?
Why wouldn't I?
But you picked her up early, correct?
Yeah.
Why did you pick her up early?
Why wouldn't I?
Did you know what had happened?
About what?
Your wife being shot.
I'm the one who called the police.
Mm-hmm.
Reported it.
I know.
I found them. When I found them, my first instinct was to get my daughter for her safety. To drop her off at a safe location. I wasn't running away. I wasn't doing anything. I have nothing to hide.
What happened when you found them? No.
Police say they have evidence against me. I don't know what that is.
So the prosecution says that you admitted to your mother that you did this, and then you pled not guilty. Can you explain that?
No, I can't.
Remorse about this situation?
I'm broken. I'm devastated. I lost my wife. My goal was to just try to get a hold of my family. It was slipping through my fingers. I'm the loser here. I lost the love of my life. Everybody I reached out to when I was going through this problem, when I couldn't get a hold of Anna. Dude, you gotta leave her. I know I gotta leave her, but I don't want to leave her. Dude, you're so handsome. You're famous on the internet. You can get any model. I know I can. I don't want to. I want my wife.
Could anyone else have Anna? Could anyone else have Anna?
Not unless she's married to me.
In a preliminary hearing on January 7, 2022, Sergeant Christopher Leahy testified that Anna discovered that Ali cheated on her with another woman who lived in their building, and that Anna had filed a petition for divorce. Sergeant Leahy added that Ali had so many affairs, detectives could not determine how many. On the subject of
Can anybody else have Anna? His response was sad. Not well, she's married to me. What did that tell you, lady? Does that creep you out a little bit? Is that a creepy response? Does that tell you a lot? Doesn't instantly make him guilty, but without guilty or innocence, does that creep you out a little bit? Would it creep you out? Have you ever been in a relationship where somebody has been psycho like that with you?
Anna and Rayburn's relationship, Sergeant Leahy stated that after reviewing messages on their social media accounts, detectives believed their friendship had become romantic. This information was not well received by Ali.
Anna inviting Ray to over to the hotel that she was staying at. Okay. Mr. Boulevard?
I'm sorry, this is news to me.
Judge Katz reprimanded Ali for his reaction, and testimony eventually resumed. The defense subsequently asked Sergeant Leahy about Ali's outburst.
He had just experienced a very traumatic event. Is that fair to say?
He created one, yes.
Is that a fair statement?
How did I create one? Elaborate on that.
Oh, hold on.
How did I create one?
Mr. Boulevard? Mr. Boulevard.
Don't inject your own.
Okay. We're going to need a break.
You think I want to get? Or I find your father? I want to do it. Who the are you?
Mr. Boulevard? Mr. Boulevard, I need you to stop.
In a hearing on January 24, 2022, Judge Katz ruled that Ali Abulaban would stand trial for the murders of Anna Abulaban and Rayburn Cardenas Barone. His trial date is scheduled for May 3, 2023. Anna and Ali Abulaban appeared to lead perfect lives on social media. However, in the process of presenting the perfect image, did they unwittingly create pressure on themselves to conform to unsustainable standards of success and happiness? Consequently, did that pressure negatively impact their mental health and self-esteem? If there's a lesson from the case of the Abulabans, it's important to remember what is portrayed on social platforms is not necessarily a genuine reflection of people's lives. Everyone experiences challenges and setbacks, even if we don't see them online. Therefore, it's essential to prioritize self-care and self-compassion and not compare oneself to others based on what one sees on social media. What are your thoughts on this case? Do you think social media is to blame for the alleged actions of Ali Abulaban? Or did social media expose and amplify pre-existing character flaws? Perhaps both. As usual, feel free to share your thoughts below.
So I will be showing you the court case on Friday night at 8 p.m. You know, when I saw that today on TikTok, I was like, whoa, how did I never hear about this case? And it was one of those that you would have heard of, you know what I mean? Let me see what some of y'all have to say. I think he enjoys attention to the point where he can somehow pull it off, typical murderer, and can find a way out. Yep. Implies ownership. Wow. I bet he would act the same if someone keyed the paint of his car. To quote Pulp Fiction, you don't like with a man's automobile. Ownership behavior is terrible, you know? Jeff, you want to come up for a couple minutes and kind of discuss the case with me? Because you did see the documentary, so you know what we're talking about, so wouldn't be like you're clueless. Hey, Aquarius, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Justice, Rondi, Jeff, of course, PKC, Heather. Heather was in here. Texas was in here. It's hard to tell who stays and who leaves. You know what I mean? It's like, remember the old chat on AOL? You used to hear the door slam. So and so has left the chat. You'd hear the door slam when they opened. It was quite interesting. Hey, it's cool. We understand. Everybody has their days, you know. Everybody has their days. Like I said, it's a full moon, so people are gonna you know, feel a certain way. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, 12. How you
What's
doing?
going on, buddy?
Not too much, man. That documentary was something. It was you want to watch a comedy or something after watching that just to
It was
reset
pretty
the
intense,
palate.
right? It was
Yeah,
pretty
it's very
intense,
intense.
wasn't it?
Definitely.
But you know, they made a statement toward the end of the show where they said, this is about 92% of all relationships. That is sad.
Yeah. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine accepting being around somebody that has that much anger. I mean, like, do you want to be around I don't know, something that you feel could explode at any moment? Yeah,
He
it's
sounded
just
very
scary.
passive aggressive, almost histrionic. You know what he was saying to her? That was gaslighting, Jeff. That was a perfect example of gaslighting.
With what? What do you give me the example? What did he say?
Okay, when he said, I brought you over here and you just used me to get over here. And now, after 7 years, now that the time is that you got your citizenship, you don't need me anymore, so you're throwing me away.
I see. So he's injecting all his own conclusions that are
Yes,
most likely
there's
not true.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing to back it up. It's just him, interjecting the victim. You know,
Yeah.
woe is me. You did this to me.
Yeah. I don't know. You know, again, it makes me personally, because you watch this and you think, could I ever be like that? because you get hurt, you fall in love, you lose love, you get hurt. Of course, you
Mhm.
feel the pain, but could you ever go that far? I mean, I don't. Me personally, I think that I don't know. I would hope to think that I would lean on my like religious faith if I could share that. Although you never know when you're in the heat of the moment. And I know that thing I put in the comments about when I had that breakup and she left me and I found out that she was seeing this older guy and I said, well, like, I hope you have fun with your old man. Old man is like a term for your man, but it's also
Yeah.
literally old man. But
Hope you have fun with your geezer.
right. That was a feeling. I can still remember where I was. I was riding my bike and I just couldn't believe what was happening. And you can relate a little to like the anger, like, wow, you were once mine, now you're his. See, it even sounds like when you describe it, that sounds like an
Yeah,
ownership
I
thing, but
mean,
you don't own anybody.
right. Rondi said passive aggressive much.
Exactly.
I can relate to that too, Jeff. When I was younger though, like I mean, when you're having to face through your own, well, he didn't come from a bad childhood. It was just there was expectation placed on him and he kept failing at them. You know what I mean? So um I would say, and I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but at the same time, when I was younger, I went through a point where with my high school sweetheart thing, I'm not going to call it a thing, my high school sweetheart relationship, we went 7 years and it was volatile to say the least. It was very toxic. You know, I was out there doing the most. I was cheating. I was flirting. I was doing all kinds of stuff that was eventually getting in my own head that I was accusing her of. I never put my hand on her, but I was very emotionally abusive. You know what I mean? Just kind of like this guy,
Right.
playing the victim. Whenever it's the push and pull. When you get close to me, I'm going to push you away. When you get as far as it's scary to me, I'm going to pull you close again.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of dynamics going on in a situation like that because there's a side of you like, well, that you probably even like try to analyze and say, well, gosh, if I don't react at all, then it must mean like I don't care. And like,
Right.
maybe this isn't that important to me. So it's, you got to express how important it is to you. And I think there's nothing uglier than seeing somebody that's lost someone and they're trying to get them back, trying to get it back to the way it was. And like, just that coming to the acceptance that like, okay, it's, what if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it never was.
Yeah.
Seen that on bumper
It'd
stickers.
be nice to get a woman's point of view. Hey, Nina, you want to come up? I know that we're
Yeah,
talking
that's
about
true.
we're talking about narcissistic relationships. This guy really like he as long as he had her isolated from her family, her friends, because she didn't know anybody in Virginia, and she took a gamble.
Right.
Moved there, they had their baby, the child was growing up. She went and visited her friends, and all of a sudden, she experienced a little bit of freedom, and I think that was the beginning of the end. It's kind of like you get away from your captor, and you realize, hey, there's more to life than being held
Right.
hostage at the house.
Yeah, that was a shame. That was just a shame. Didn't need to happen. Like even if he'd have had, he walked in there and 6 seconds later he's pulling the trigger. I mean, he'd already decided when he's on the other side of the door. He hasn't even seen yet. They could have been in there playing checkers, and come to find out he's like with the church and trying to get her to join the church with nothing like bad going on whatsoever. Now, I guess I mean he did hear stuff. I don't know exactly what he heard over his own daughter's iPad. You imagine that too,
Right.
using your own daughter's iPad as a spy tool, and then to have that be what make the decision to go and do what you don't go storming up there with a gun. If this guy makes me sick. It's just it's
I mean, it's just terrible that he had to resort to that. It's like when you're in that mindset, and he was using cocaine a lot, so he's going to use that as a defense. I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of spoiler, but he claimed that it made him, not think as clearly, which it does change you, but that's no excuse for what he was doing. I mean, he was doing a lot of this way before he got on the coke, you know? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What do you
Where
got?
are
What do
you?
you got?
Where are you? Oh, there you are.
Hello?
Hey, Nina.
Hello. Where my sound?
I hear you. I hear you. I heard
I
that.
hear you too. Yeah, 10 feet
Okay,
tall.
y'all might have to yell at me because I'm obviously deaf.
Have you been, Nina?
We don't want to yell because then we're going to be like
Oh,
domestically.
just be the narcissistic selves you are.
No, then we're going to be domestically violating your drums. So, Nina, have you ever? I mean, without going into detail extremely, but have you ever?
So what are we talking about?
We're talking about domestic abuse and toxic
Oh,
relationships.
gee whiz, boy, I can talk about that for days.
Well, we needed a woman's perspective because we're up
It
here.
sucks.
What are some of the signs of a domestic violence situation?
Really though, why do I not have sound?
We hear you,
Jeff.
Yep. Can
Honey,
you hear
I
me?
said I didn't have sound.
You can't hear us?
What? Eh?
Can't hear us? Hello? Check 1, 2. My mic sounds nice. Check
on.
1, check 2.
Well, she went bye-bye. Hopefully she'll come back. On a brighter note, while we're waiting for her to come back, I got an A and a B in my class. So
sweet. Nice
onward to the last 6 hours.
There you go.
Yeah.
Check out the big brain on Brad. Nice job. Nice job. That's awesome.
What's up, HI?
Hey, you know what? While we're waiting for Nina, this conversation, I forgot I bought this thing at Goodwill. But it's something.
Let's see it.
Well, no, I don't have a shirt on or nothing. I don't want to scare anybody away. I'm just sitting here finishing up some work on the computer. But this relates to the subject we're talking about.
Thank you, guys.
It came to mind when I was thinking of, like, you were talking about his childhood and what it must have been like. And it made me remember when I was a kid, my mom had this little framed thing in the kitchen. I remember it was right over the dishwasher. And I would read it occasionally, and damn if I didn't find this exact thing, almost exact thing. It's bigger, and the pictures are different. But I found it in the Goodwill, and it's titled "Children Learn What They Live." And, some of the things it says on here is like, if a child lives with criticism, he learns to condemn. If a child lives with hostility, he learns to fight, and so on and so on. It's just like this long list. And I remember as a kid, I used to look at that and just kind of read it. And I guess at the time I didn't really, understand it, but I did like reading it. And maybe it did every now and then make me stop and think, what kind of childhood am I living? Or, what's my home like,
But that's the absolute truth, though. We teach our kids how to be treated by watching
Texas, check this out.
Damn, Texas is looking through my window because he's got it just right. He nailed it.
No, he's being like another creator talks about sitting on your couch with Oreos in your fingertips. Stuffing
Why
your
you gotta
face.
be talking about my Oreos?
You know who I'm talking about? You're sitting there without a shirt, stuffing your face with Oreos.
Okay, it's a
So you,
weakness.
Yeah.
we can hear you now. Can you hear us?
I can.
Okay, go
Awesome.
ahead. And I was asking you, what are some of the signs of a domestic violent situation?
Well, DV with violence or DV without violence.
Um, let's start without violence because it doesn't always start out with violence.
I mean, I got in my DV started when I was 16 because I got married when I was 16, and so I wasn't pregnant or anything. It was just I had been sneaking around, and finally, the last time I snuck around, my daddy was like, "Marry him or forget him." Come on, y'all! I am 16 years old. I know it all. I'm getting out of this house and I'm getting married. You know,
Right.
and so then, once I get married, he's not working, I'm working. He's staying gone all the time. I'm grounded at home or at work, no friends, the isolation, cut off from the family. And, then it's just, it progresses like that. I mean, and at 16, I'll be honest with you, I was so stubborn that I wasn't about to go back to my mom and daddy's and say, "Hey, can I renege on this deal? I think I got a bad end of it," because
And
I knew it all. I was
Nina,
gonna stick it out.
Nina, in this video or this case that we're talking about, her best friend mentioned that they were Filipino. They were raised in the Philippines. So you stuck it out for the
Right,
child. So she went through all that for her daughter.
right.
She'd gone through all that abuse and all that
I've always
hostility
said that
from her
I'm
father.
loyal to a fault.
Yeah.
The only problem with me is when I'm done, I'm done. Once I walk away, I can turn my back and never look back. But
Any
it takes me forever to get to that point.
any feedback, Jeff?
What was that? What was that scene in "Oh Brother Where Art Thou" where the guy's losing his wife? He said, she says, "I've made my peace and I've counted to 3." Remember
Yeah.
that? And he's like, "Oh, she counted to." Oh, it's George Clooney. That's right. She counted to 3. That's it. It's over.
Yeah,
She counted to 3.
exactly. Mine, the Stephen King movie where the older boy rode a bicycle. He spelled everything MOON.
I don't know if I know that
To
one.
spell a word, he'd say MOON today or MOON yesterday or whatever. Well, we used to clean the auditoriums, and my son, when he got finished at the movie theater cleaning an auditorium, he'd come out and he'd say MOON done.
Huh.
And so through my
Wow.
relationships, I'd look at my kids and I'd say MOON. David would say, "Time to pack, Mama's done."
Yeah. Rondi said that's the stand.
Yes, he would
Oh, I've heard of
say
that.
MOON.
No, I've never seen that, but I started reading the book. I started reading the novel way back when. But
But
I
the
guess
first
we
thing to
can,
look at is the isolation,
yeah.
because if they can keep you isolated and dependent on them to where that's your world, that's what your world revolves around, then they gradually take that control
Hmm.
and you're not a person anymore.
Well, it also seemed like it diminishes your identity, like it
Yeah.
diminishes your will to live.
I mean, you're who they make you be. You like what they make you like. You eat what and you do it to keep peace in the house. I
They
mean,
would make TikTok videos, and I know that you're on TikTok.
yes,
So you may have even seen this individual on your feed, way back when. I don't know how long you've been on, but
3
he
years.
would he would do cosplay of, like Tony Montana and John Wick and people like that. And, you know, he would include her, but she'd always be filming. She would also always be filming um, the TikToks, a lot of times. And then
Right.
she started appearing in them and she started getting more popular than him. So he had an issue with him wanting to be the guy in the spotlight.
Right. Right. Now, see, when I was going through DV, it was 85. So, that's back during the burning bed days. You tie them to a bed and, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
Domestic violence wasn't, I mean, it just happened. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've driven myself to the hospital so many times that, and just go right back. I mean, because you don't want to hear the I told you so's. You don't want to fail. You don't have anywhere to go. I mean, because you've isolated yourself in that little area. Where are you going to go? I mean,
Right.
you don't have a car.
Jeff,
So,
you think that if this couple would have reconciled, they would have eventually went back to the behaviors that led them to that point?
is
Man,
that
I
for
don't
me?
know. It
For
seems to
Jeff.
me like it would be like, if he got maybe received some different counseling and had an awakening of some sort.
No.
But sometimes hard for a leopard to change its spots. That is what it is,
All
and
they
they
got to
are
do
what
is
they are.
murder.
And I mean, short of, again, I mean, I know not everybody leans on church and stuff and religious stuff, but I mean, I know how much it changed me from the person I used to be. So much so
Right.
that even my mom at one point said, "I just want my son back." And it's like, whoa, what do you mean by that? I'm not the same as I was. And I was like, and I, of course, I interpreted that as like, you want me to be this son that used to take Tums because I had so much stress, and now I don't take Tums anymore, and life is good every day no matter what's going on. It's like, but
Right.
short of that, I don't know. I mean, it's there's that expression too, a renewing of the mind. When you truly have renewed your mind to be, you can become like a different person. But man, if it isn't, I mean, why are there therapists? Why are there so many therapists? Because it takes a lot to really wash away all that stuff from your past. I know one
And
of
that's
my big things was self-deprecating remarks, because I think that goes back like 2 generations that I know of in my family. It's like we just like any compliment I would receive is like, well, it could have been better, or like, I'm not very good at that, or like, I can't. It's like, where are these? That's the other thing that the religious faith brought, to me, was like, why am I speaking like that? I gotta just throw these things away. God says I'm wonderfully and amazingly made and created, and here I am saying, I'm not that good. It's like,
Me and
right.
God's got to have a talk. That's what he's saying to you.
if what?
And Jeff brought up an
Okay.
interesting point. Jeff brought up an interesting point there where he said, you have to get some kind of counseling or some kind of therapy because many couples, they want to try to fix the relationship on their own. They want to say, well, let's just take a break or let's just slow it down. Let's kind of separate. And it seemed like in this case, by separating, the more she pulled away, the more desperate it made him. So, usually when an abuser, starts realizing he's potentially going to lose you, he becomes very desperate, very,
Yeah, and that's actually some of the most dangerous times.
yes. It's
I
not
mean,
like they're thinking it, they're just reacting.
and
Because they
I
feel
mean
like
the
they got
thing
nothing to lose.
exactly the thing
Yeah.
about it is, I mean, oh my gosh, I can't count on all my toes and fingers how many times I went back from the time I was 16 to the time I was 19. I can't tell you how many times I went back. It, you
Well,
know, but I
it's
will tell
written that,
you, and if there's anybody that has suffered through domestic violence, I hope they don't tar and feather me for this. But see, I had to I had to learn to take my part of responsibility in it too. Because what I learned was I could push him to that point, and guess what? For about a week, he would love me the way I wanted him to love me. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I would get what I wanted by getting the abuse, but it just didn't last.
I mean, to some people, that abuse, that negative attention, that negative jealousy, that is a form of flattery for some individuals that have never known the correct way to receive that. Wouldn't you say, Jeff?
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
I mean,
Yeah,
heck,
it's
for 3 years, I thought my name was Fat Ass.
oh jeez.
I mean,
Wow.
Well, it's good to know we go by the same name, so that's cool. No,
see,
just
that's
kidding.
what I said. If God's telling you what a great and wonderful person you are, me and God's got to have a talk.
Wow, we've
Yeah.
all shared the same moniker. What's up with that? Wow.
That's why we all get along.
You must have been married to my first husband's wife.
Great big
So
asses think
good
alike.
thing I
Isn't this
didn't
how this?
tattoo that on my arm. Good Lord. Good thing I didn't tattoo that on my arm. Then I would have had it surgically
Is it
removed.
12 gauge? Isn't that how the expression goes? Great big asses think alike, and
That's
common
right.
expression?
They sit and eat Oreo cookies too.
Oh my goodness! I
Yeah,
mean,
man. You know, Nina, not to dwell on the God thing too long, because I know some people aren't all about that. But yeah, there was a time where I remember taking a shower, and all of a sudden, just the whole realization of that new relationship I felt I had with God. I started crying in the shower. I was overwhelmed. It's like, wow, what is it that you would have me do when what I could do with this life I've been given is pretty limitless, and definitely not limited the way I'd seen myself up until that point. And it became pretty overwhelming. It's like if I've got the backing of the creator of the universe on this next stuff that I do in my life, it's cool, but it's also quite overwhelming. So
I got saved May 4th of last year. I'm 55 years old.
Awesome.
And I was a little stubborn, but
no,
look,
not you.
y'all, instead of doing 12 steps, I didn't do a program. Okay. I just quit and that was it. Never worked a program. And so I had a Bible app, and I would every night when they would be like reading out of their, we would do recovery stuff on our lives, and they'd be, reading out of the books and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I got to find me something to read. So I started doing steps and stuff out of my Bible app.
Right.
And so it got to where at night I would read like my part, and I'm sitting there reading one night, and it's talking about the broken cup. And Jeff, I know exactly what you're talking about. I am in the middle of a live, ugly crying. I mean, squalling like a baby. I mean, had no idea what was going on. I just knew something had taken over, and it didn't feel bad. It wasn't the devil.
Right. Hey,
And
I thought Jeff was gonna say after that breakup, he was in the shower and he was like in the fetal position, crying in the corner. I thought that's where he was going with that. I was like, wow, he's really gonna.
No, it's funny though. I think I leaned heavily on exercise at that time, because like I said, I could remember where I was on the phone when I was referred to the new guy as your old man. I was actually on my bike. I was biking, and back then I was going on 100-mile bike rides with my uncle, and well, I think shortly after that, I think this is when they started. But yeah, you kind of like, it's like, okay, if it's kind of starting over here, might as well. Exercise is a great thing. It really worked well for me for something to do instead of sitting around at home and just crying or just ruminating on what you had and what you lost and and feeling like you'll never get it again. You know, it's like
I just ran off with his best friend.
Why do y'all do that, man? Why do y'all do that?
Women,
Like of
jeez.
all the people you could choose, I'm gonna choose his best friend or his brother. Let me,
Oh
man,
Lord have mercy. That's the reason
You
I
know
tell
what?
everybody. That's the reason I tell everybody I'm not gay. My girlfriend is.
Oh my goodness.
I've heard that before. That's good.
Warning label does not represent the thoughts and feelings of this channel. She represents her own thoughts and feelings. Just
Oh, y'all ought to
You
see
don't
the.
have to do that. Warning label comes with the warning labels.
That's right. I'm trying to figure out my logo. Look, I just made a short video. I had y'all are tagged in it. I had to apologize for my language.
Do you need when I think warning label, I think of, like when I was a kid, you see the what is it, Mr. Yuck stickers, like the warning for like poisonous
You need the
liquids.
biohazard sticker.
Mine's the mattress
Yeah.
one that says "Do not remove," federal law.
Yeah, do not remove that tag.
Yeah, or it could be the biohazard, and be like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
That's what you say in jail. What are you in for? You know that tag on the mattress?
See, I've already been there too many times too. I didn't get to stay very long. I think the longest I ever stayed was 10 days.
Were you in segregation?
Well, I was in a little boat down in the floor. But how you gonna put fat girl in the floor in a boat? Come on now. So
But you on a boat now? Wait, I missed what you're
no,
meaning.
no, in jail if they don't have enough beds, they have like this plastic
There you
thing
go,
that's in the
Texas, if
floor,
you want to come up.
and you get to carry your own mattress and put it down in the boat, and you sleep in the floor. I got in a fight in there, so I had to stay longer for that. I had some anger issues, just a little bit.
No way, not you, Nina, not at all. We don't see that fiery side of you at all. You're just like,
No, believe it or not, I'm really meek and shy and an introvert.
so am I. So am I.
Yeah, me
Hey,
too.
Texas, I put the StreamYard link. Once you're done with your phone call, if you want to come up, discuss
Come
some
on,
of the
Oreo.
You know, 12 gauge. Something you were talking about earlier was like the therapy. Like had that couple in the documentary gone to therapy. I wonder if the drug issue, because the experience I had, we'd gone to therapy. We went to therapy probably about 5 or 6 sessions, and her drug use never came up once. I was like, are we ever going to talk about that? And I never brought it up. She didn't bring it up. I never used drugs, so I was clean. But she had this drug thing, never came up, and I can still remember that therapist on the last session. She's like, "Well, I guess you guys are doing pretty well. I think there's no real need for you to come back." And I'm thinking,
what about the drugs?
It's like we never talked about the drugs ever. What a waste of money that was.
Did she ever get clean?
It took a long time, and then eventually, long story, like down the road, I can't remember how many years it was, but then there was a crack addiction. There was multiple, places, rehab centers, detox,
Hey,
all
Texas.
kinds of stuff like that. But she's doing great now. She is amazing now. She's got a great guy. He's also, been in recovery for different things, but they are a powerhouse couple. They are running AA meetings, and they are making a difference in people's lives. I couldn't be happier. It was actually an answer to prayer, because when I prayed,
What's going on, bro?
It's interesting. I didn't pray to. Hey, is that Texas here?
Yeah.
Hey, Texas.
It's Oreo. See the black and white.
I don't know how to do all this stuff, so.
You're good. We can hear you, bro. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
That's the most important thing.
Hey, I wanted to get you up here. I mean, I'm shifting a little gears here. I'm going to go Idaho here for a little bit. I mean, nothing really,
Time for me to jump down. No, I'm joking.
No, I wanted to get your opinion because you're here in Texas, I'm in Texas, so I wanted to make sure that my impression of the penal system is correct regarding the prisons.
I thought we
It's
were
not.
talking jail.
He said penal.
Oh my god. So, can you tell me a little bit about what? Let's say somebody was a new inmate, a new boot, right?
Right.
What do they expect the first couple days?
PG.
Well, I'm really not familiar with that, because I wasn't at an intake unit,
Okay.
so
Well, once they get to the farm,
PG.
well, they go through. There's a room where they study each inmate and they know what they're into and everything. If they're in gangs or whatever, and I try to keep them all together. They don't
Okay.
want a gang member of one gang in another, you know, uh, place with different gang members.
Okay.
It's classifications what they go through, and
Okay.
I'm not really familiar with it because I never did it, but
Okay.
I do know that's what they do when they go through classification, and they know where to put them. So.
Okay.
Oh, I bet
So,
he's in a whole new world right now.
so where they were talking about, getting a heart check and all that stuff. I've never heard of that in jail. Have
Getting
y'all?
what?
A heart check? Where somebody tests you, like they jump you or whatever in the jail. Have you ever heard of that?
They didn't call it that when somebody just jumped on somebody. They just jumped on them. I mean, I've
Yeah.
seen hundreds of them. I never heard of anything like that.
Yeah.
But
Well, I've talked to plenty of people, and I'm just trying to get as many, individuals that have, backgrounds in that. And I didn't know Nina had been to jail. I would have never believed that, if somebody would have told me that.
Oh, I spent 10
Would you
days in the
have
Nashville
Texas?
jail.
oh hell, I've been to jail. Don't worry about that.
I've been to jail, but it was only to visit somebody.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
totally accountable and transparent.
So, Nina, would you say that, the short time that you were in there, was there a lot of different types of individuals in there, like for different
Yes.
crimes? Did y'all have
There
any
was
high
one
profile?
lady. I remember one lady when I was in the Nashville jail. She wasn't allowed to sit with us when we watched TV. She would always have to come out alone and watch TV. And they always watched what she watched on TV and made sure that, and I was like, what the heck? We'll come to find out she had unalived her little girl and they were making sure that it didn't come on the news while she was sitting in the middle of general population, I mean, and there she is blasted all over the TV because it would not have been good for her. I mean, but I mean, yeah, they size you up. I mean, they're sizing you up as soon as you're walking in. I mean, and I mean, I'll admit to anybody, I went in there messed up. I was 10 feet tall and bulletproof. I mean, I mean, and I think the second day I was there, I was standing at the table while they were playing cards or something, and I don't know, I guess she thought she was the big doc of the deal or something. She comes up and grabs me, and I just slammed her head down on the table and told her don't ever touch me again. I mean, and that's the way you have to be. I mean, because if not, I'm gonna be somebody's little bitch. I mean, uh-uh. And that's the reason is he. Sorry, that.
You
I'm
don't
just
mess
playing
with the
you.
Nina.
I mean,
mean,
yeah,
like,
you're right. You're right. You got to
yeah, I mean,
show
they're
a
sizing
certain.
whoever up. I mean, hey, let me tell you, I learned how to make hair ties in there from cutting you socks. I learned how to use dental floss to do your eyebrows. I mean,
Here in the, I've heard of an inmate cookbook where
yeah,
people have written the recipes on how to make jailhouse food.
yeah,
Like the spreads and the burritos and all the stuff that they make while they're in prison.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. I mean,
But you,
I wanted to be in the iPod, and unfortunately, I was in like the K-Pod, but I wanted the iPod.
I'm not asking, Nina.
iPod is stuck on replay.
Okay. Hey, Texas. So tell us about. Let's get back on the relationship a little bit. You were talking about, your ex. Did y'all ever have any kind of volatile toxicity or anything like that?
Me a couple times.
Yeah. You seem like a laid back dude. Was she the violent one? Did you hear me?
What was you saying?
Oh, I said you seem like a laid back guy. Was she the violent one, or were you? Is there
Oh, she
any?
had a temper, like I said earlier, man, I got accused of all kinds of stuff, and I never did anything. I don't know why she would accuse me of that. I just didn't get it. But oh
Yeah.
well, maybe she was guilty of doing something and she felt bad and wanted to take it out on me.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire.
Exactly.
Dirty dog barks first.
Whoever dealt it smelt it, right?
That's right.
I just wanted to keep them going.
Yeah.
Jeff, you got anything?
Somebody say my name. I'm sorry, I had muted. What
What
were
did
you
you
saying?
say, Jim? What were you saying? We're giving cliches here. You got any you want to throw in the pot there?
You were giving shade? Is that what you said?
Cliches.
Oh, cliches. Oh man,
Dirty dog. What? Say it again, Nina.
I was eating an Oreo. Do what?
What were you saying about the dirty dog?
Oh, I mean, a lot of times, they accuse you of doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
I think that's actually where that came from. Dirty dog barks first.
And I said those who smelt it dealt it.
What about in the jail system? Did you ever observe anybody that you saw maybe they came in a certain way but they maybe came to the realization they had to change their life, and then they did start to be like a positive person even for other inmates? Does that ever happen, or is that just like they just tear you down if they see you being positive like that and trying to help and find the right path?
Oh no, we got to go to church.
Yeah. There's church. There's a preacher.
Yeah.
I don't know how many goes. I never had to go in there and monitor that.
Oh, I went just so I could get out of my cell.
Well, yeah. I mean, they do that. They get slips, and the main thing they like to do is went to the infirmary.
Rondi has a question.
TV in there. Huh?
Rondi has a question. She said, "Did any of you guys ever hit or grab?" Just asking.
Hear what?
Just slamming a head down on the table work.
She asked if any of you guys ever. Okay.
I've been hit.
Yeah,
never
been
have
grabbed. I've been grabbed.
I guess I did both then, hit and grab.
I guess she's asking kind of like, has the inmate ever hit you or grabbed you? Like,
yes.
Texas. Have you ever been? Yeah, hit or grabbed.
Well, I've seen people get hit. I've seen people get shanked. I've seen just about all.
Damn, where'd he go?
You shanked him.
Where are you at again? Alabama?
Yes.
You're in Alabama? Okay.
Number one best prisons in the world.
Hey, I love that state. I love that state. There's some friendly people in Alabama, at least the places that I've been.
Ohio may have the worst jails, but we've got the worst prisons.
And that's what I was gonna say is I don't know if the prisons are like they were in the early '90s, middle '90s, early 2000s. They say they are, but I don't know if they're the same kind of environments.
I think
Due
they're
to
worse.
you think so?
Yeah.
Because here we have a PREA law, which is like a Prison Rape Elimination Act. So if you get this on you, like you get accused of doing that to an inmate, or even harassing an inmate that is not, straight, um, you have to register as a sex offender and you get a free world charge. So,
Hey,
I
you
mean,
can sell one of your organs and get 60 days off your sentence.
are you kidding me?
No, in Alabama.
What?
Now, what if you just have like a Casio keyboard? You don't have an organ. Does that count?
I mean,
Heather,
seriously,
Heather said that Heather said that
60 days
the
off for a
diddler.
kidney.
Hey, Heather said the diddler has been arrested. She said Diddy, but I call him the diddler.
Oh, they did arrest him?
Yeah. So here we go with that. So that is going to be the new. Be prepared for that to be hitting every day on YouTube. The diddler.
I ain't, I got, okay, be careful. I've got my hands full with Sebastian in Ohio.
Yeah, I'm not covering that.
I'm
I
not,
don't.
I'm not doing
I'm
anything with
scared.
Idaho 4.
No, I'm gonna do the second part to this that I started tonight, which is the court case, and you're gonna be able to see his cross examination from the defense. And I did that for a reason is I want to show you how the court case actually goes for people that never been in a criminal trial. And some of the questions and how the attorneys ask the questions and how they're trying to get the defendant to either incriminate themselves or to show that they were lying in the previous examination.
Right.
So I mean I think that's awesome as well, and I'm gonna finish up the Murdaugh one eventually. I'm probably gonna do that later in the week sometime. I don't maybe Thursday. I don't know yet.
I'm
I'm so
I'm
spontaneous with
taking
it.
on little Dick Van and puffer fish right now.
Dick
Oh,
Van.
yeah, I call him Little Dick Van, Nick the Hat, and then his little friend Dong the Hong or whatever. I call him Pong the puffer fish.
I don't have a clue, Nina. I don't have a clue.
Yeah, I just heard the name Nick the Hat today for the first time.
They're the new saviors coming in to rescue Sebastian and find him. And the little video that I responded to today is them talking about them learning about them playing army and being in their little military games, and that people know that when the military comes back, that they come back alcoholics and abusers. And I was mad when I made that video. I was mad.
I thought Dog the Bounty Hunter was on that
He's
case.
supposed to be in there with them. I'm hoping that Dog is just like sitting back, playing it cool right now, scoping out, because he hadn't said anything. But Nick the Hat and that little Hong Dong or whatever guy, when they made that video today talking about their military and how they're playing army and stuff like that, I told them exactly what a POS I thought they were, and then I said, F you.
Yeah, I don't like them guys either.
That's terrible. That was the most despicable video I've ever seen in my life. And that they didn't say not one cuss word. They didn't show not one boob, nothing. But it
What did
was
they say?
despicable. talking about since Chris and Katie have military experience,
Oh, I got you. I see.
that they're playing their little army
I don't know
warfare
what happened
game.
with that boy.
Okay, Gage.
Not one boob.
Not one, and it was a disgrace. Not a boo, not nothing, not a cuss word.
Jeff, turn your camera on. Show her your boob.
No,
Not a
that's
fat
all right.
ass, nothing.
Oh, wow.
My little video is 40 seconds, and I called them every name I could think to call them, and I begged people, please send this to every military people there is. Send it to every mama that's lost their military child from those little army games.
Oh my
Man,
God. You need to team up with JB. Like,
how disrespectful! That is our military.
well, I understand that. I'm not trying to be funny. I don't have a clue
I
what
have
you're
anger
talking
management
about.
issues.
I guess I got to go watch the video, and I'll probably be perturbed as well. But just to
Oh,
hear you
honey,
describe it,
I
I'm
took
like,
the transcript and I highlighted it.
I mean, just to hear you describe it, I'm trying to get a mental picture of these guys, you know? So I'm thinking,
Pong the puffer fish. He's this little Asian fat kid.
He's a
And
deadbeat.
yes. And look, these little bastards, I'm sorry. They are selling green light bulbs.
don't hold back now.
They are selling green light bulbs for $29 and making profit off of Sebastian. Bastards.
Why are they
What do you do with the green light bulbs? What are the?
You
Am I
put
supposed
it,
to put
I
them on your
guess they're
porch or
looking for
something?
a whore. I'm a hooker.
Thought that was red.
Well, maybe there is green. It's for Sebastian.
You got him, Nina. You trapped. You tested 12 gauge. You knew the red. You knew it was a red bulb. You just turned yourself in.
I'm serious. He's got like 3 and 4 packs, and it says that little Dick Band is making profit off of it. So I put a little note up there. Hey, y'all make sure you buy light bulbs so little Dick Band can make his money.
That's his name?
No, his name is Nick the Hat.
Oh, okay. I was like,
But I can't call him. I can't call him Little Dick.
I
So
don't
it's
know
little.
anybody. I don't know anybody go around happy with a little, name.
It's
like
Little
that.
Dick Band.
Little Dick, oh God.
That's a nice picture you got there, Texas. I like that.
I like that too. I like
hope
that.
the little girl's not awake right now.
Right? Oh, you need to cover that picture's eyes and ears, boy. That little girl need to hear this.
Gage, you gave me my warning label.
That's what you need to put a little green light bulb at your picture. There you go.
You need to kiss my big fat hairy ass too.
Oh my God.
I might check this out. I had never seen none of that. I've heard of them guys, but I've never seen them.
Oh, that video today. Ooh. I mean, my last 2 words is F you.
Who, Nina, who was it?
Okay, you know Nick the Hat.
Yeah.
It's him and, you know, the little hefty Chinese Wong Dong guy.
Yeah, I've seen him for just a little bit. That's
yeah,
it.
well,
I haven't listened to him
he's sitting in his little wingback chair, I guess, at their, Taj Mahal or whatever they're at. And oh yeah, that's where dead people go, ain't it?
No.
Isn't Taj Mahal where a dead person is?
We get the picture. We get the picture. No racial slurs. No words like that, please.
Are they even in Tennessee or where are they at?
No, because that little Dick Man can't leave Pennsylvania because he just got out of prison.
That home dude?
Yeah, the little Timu sunglass guy.
I'm gonna check all this out. I haven't seen any of that. I've been busy.
I haven't either, Texas. I'm kind of lost. Like, so
Hong the
let's
puffer fish is sitting in his chair and he's talking about what a piece of crap Chris Proudfoot is. Look, all three of the parents are pieces of crap, okay? I ain't gonna be, I don't favor none of them better than the rest of them. They're all pieces of crap. But, I mean, they all failed Sebastian. I mean, and
Exactly.
the thing about it is I don't care how much I can't stand Seth Rogers. I would, but I'm not going to get up there and tell him that he's playing his little wannabe police games and that most of the police are child pedophiles and shit like that and just
That's
eat
one
donuts.
fat, nasty bastard.
I mean, and that's what he does on this. The video is like 50 seconds. It's less than a minute. And the whole time he's talking about they found out about their little war games and how they're in the military and that everybody knows that when the military comes back, they're either alcoholics or abusive or doing drugs. And I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
well, let's watch that video and then we'll. I mean, I'll watch it. That way I can that way I can commentate on it because right now I'm feeling really lost and my audience is
Kale's
kind of
got his
like,
curiosity up.
well, my audience is like, seriously, what? I cannot,
Yeah,
Aquarius
I
saw it.
highlighted it. I highlighted the transcript.
Aquarius has seen it, so she saw it. You see it, right?
You see it, right? I
Yeah,
see
Are
you
it.
you
see
gonna
it.
play my video? Oh, somebody gonna play my video. I'm so happy.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm gonna have to hop off here. My phone's dying.
All right,
But
buddy.
Yeah,
You
right.
take
You
I'm
just don't want to
taking
see my
chat watch.
video.
I'll
Good to
come
see you,
we
back
Texas.
appreciate
if we're
you.
still. Once it's charged up, I'll come back if I can.
All right.
All right, brother.
It's a one-time
All right.
offer.
Thank you. Thank you.
More power to you.
All right, man.
Well, which one is it? You got
It's the one that says Little Dick Band.
hold on.
It's the very last one I did. The other one that I did. Oh, and if that no, that one doesn't have music. But any kind of music I have is not copyrighted. You don't have to be afraid of any music. You taught me that.
Nina, I'm not getting copyrighted over any of this that I'm about to show. You got to be.
No, this one has nothing but me.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking for it.
It's in the shorts.
Oh, it's under shorts. Okay, I'm looking at videos. Oh my god, I'm scared. I'm scared to show this. I'm like,
Well, if you're gonna show this one, you gotta show the skunk one.
no, I'm gonna show this one. Oh my goodness, dear
Ready?
Lord,
1, 2.
dear Lord, keep me from being
Is what?
copyrighted. Please protect me from all this. Here we go.
Hong, 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 the pufferfish, because that's what you look like, a pufferfish. You and Little Dick Band. Y'all have got to be the most disgraceful idiots, pieces of shit out there. Yes, I said it, and I hope every military parent that you have called out on this video as being crazy and they are abusive and they do drugs and they get drunk. That's what you think of the military. Guess what? Fuck you. Yeah, and
Jeff?
Sorry. Hey, somebody call me.
What do you think about that?
I didn't even see it. I missed it. Well, was it good?
Whatever.
I didn't. I was.
Nina, that was some expressive art you did there. Thank you so much
okay.
for.
Look.
No,
Okay.
seriously, I'm not being condescending. I'm
Can
giving
you run it
props.
again?
I'm giving you props.
Oh.
No,
How long was it?
Go to her page and watch it. You know where it is.
I have to. I'll watch it later. All right.
So, I don't blame you for feeling that way. That people, they like what we were talking about, this murder right here. It's like people are looking to go viral just based on anything. So it's almost like they they present something just to get enough people
Yes.
so that they can be viral. And once you get viral, I mean, it's 1 million views. So I guess that's where you start getting like $100,000 and on up every time, you start getting sponsors and all that. So
I mean, it's just, this Nick the Hat guy, he's come out and he's the one that's added $25,000 to the reward. Okay. Now, this guy just got out of prison for forgery and falsifying racist emails and bad charges. Just got out of prison. Okay. And he claims he's putting up 25,000. Now, every time he does a video, he's like walking in the woods and everything. Bitch, please, you up there in the Pocono Mountains. You ain't in Tennessee. I mean, and
Yeah.
all it is, oh my gosh, the most god awful things that they can say against Chris and Katie Proudfoot. And like I said, I don't know any of the parents. Seth, I judge Seth based on his actions from February the 26th till now, because I have watched this case every day since then.
You know
And I
what?
even made a heartfelt video to Seth. Will he ever see it? No. But I made it as a mama that's lost a child.
What's sad is the focus that goes off the children.
Exactly.
In any of these cases, it doesn't matter if the children are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever. They're still somebody's child. Because I know that, I have mamas out there that they have 30, 40-year-olds and they still call them my little baby or, whatever. You're always going to be a child to your mother.
Hey,
So
my son is forever 32, and that'll always be my baby boy.
yeah, so I mean some of the disrespect that's out there, it just
But the thing about it is, you're not hunting Sebastian. You're not helping Sebastian by cutting down the parents. You're not, that's, and then mix the military up in that too.
But my whole thing is, how do they know where to search? Like if I was wanting to do a good deed and say tomorrow I loaded up my truck, all the stuff to go search, I couldn't tell you the first place I would go. How do these people know what area has been searched, what area hasn't been searched? How do you know where to go?
Well,
Where
see, in the beginning, they had the search parties where you sign in and all that. But see, now nobody's searching. I mean, I think there's a couple of people riding around in their cars and trucks 14 hours a day filming it. I mean, that's not searching. I mean, I think somebody's riding around in a boat, fishing. I mean, searching. I mean,
But that's what I'm saying is, unless you really have expertise in how to track somebody, or like you're a professional tracker, you could probably track somebody. You know what I mean? But
I'm gonna be honest with you.
as far as I know about this case, his trail ended at the pond, and they drained the pond, and that's all I know about it.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing about it is, I didn't know until I was doing some research last week that 82% of targeted teens by cyber gangs. Now, these are teen gamers. 82% of them are on the autistic spectrum because they groom them into being hackers.
That's an interesting theory. I've never heard that before.
And if you think about Sebastian not being happy at home, say he wasn't, I don't know, I didn't live there, okay? But we're going to say that he wasn't happy with his dad and he wasn't happy with his mama and Chris, and everybody was fighting over him all the time, and he got tired of it. And one of these cyber people was like, hey, dude, you're really good on this game, because when Seth was at work, and I'm not putting anybody down that has to work, Seth had to go to work. So Sebastian had to stay there by himself. And he stayed there and he played, and he was a gamer. Now, my biggest thing was, why, if you're going to do that, why not take him from his dad's house while his dad's on a 12-hour shift? Instead of the mom's house when somebody's there constantly. You know what I'm saying?
I
Or
don't
get a
know
babysitter,
I don't know enough about this case to really opine.
But see, the thing about it is the bad part is not the autism that's bad. He's got what they call 6q27, and that's a chromosomal depletion. So he has fluid on his head with a shunt, and he has what's that, where your chest is like caved in.
Okay.
So he's got that going on too.
Is one of the issues that they just there isn't a lot to go on with the
There's
case?
nothing.
I mean, they had a video that was really hard to see. It was just a bunch of little lights, and they said it was a garbage truck.
Yeah,
with
it's not a garbage truck. It's flashlights, and I don't know if y'all watched the Mob Crew. He has
Right. I did watch a bunch of his. That was some good stuff.
Man, he has painstakingly put that stuff together. But
I don't understand why they
another
didn't
good one that I
release-
watched. Another good one that I watched is Crime Sleuthin'. She did an overlay of that, and it was pretty good too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Good night, Aquarius. You have a good night. Thank you for being
Good
here.
night, Aquarius. But
Is
yeah,
the
see what
dawning of
happened
the
is
age of Aquarius.
now like the only consistent that I've had this whole time is he didn't have shoes on. That was the only thing consistent in this. And what does Seth Rogers do last week? Well, possibly didn't have any. You bastard. What do you mean possibly didn't have any shoes? For 6 months, you've said no shoes, no shoes, no shoes. Now you want to come up here and change it?
Yeah, how'd
Why?
they know that? Because his shoes were at the house that he always
But
wears?
they say that they're accounted for. The problems I have is 3 days after Sebastian went missing, they opened up Seth a GoFundMe. Now, how you know you're going to be out of work to need a GoFundMe? Your son's
Now,
only been missing 3 days.
Is it possible that somebody met him online or at that restaurant, right? He was at a restaurant the last night he was
Yeah, him
seen,
and his
right?
mom went to Red Robin.
Longhorn or something?
Crackle Barrel or Logan, something like that.
Yeah, all of the above.
I mean, is it possible that, he meets somebody online, they happen to meet him, they could meet him in the restroom at the restaurant, and they could say, hey, I got those new Nike Air Jordans for you. Just meet me outside the back of your house at like 3 a.m. and then I'll give you those new shoes and we'll, whatever, some kind of stalker like that.
Jeff, I've even thought about those mean bullies in high school that, hey, you want to come out at 2:00 in the morning and hang with the cool kids, not realizing that he's got a shunt and, the physical, you know what I'm saying? And
It's
that
kind of like
maybe
you remember that movie, what was the movies where the boys went to the island and they turned into like donkeys?
Lord of the Flies.
Oh, no. Oh, Pinocchio. Well, it's similar. But in Pinocchio, it's like they need movies like that for kids now, because I remember that was the kind of thing made you scared to be around some bad people, even if they were people like similar aged. They
Rondi
talk
says,
they talk
Rondi
naive
says,
Pinocchio.
here we go,
Texas Roadhouse.
speculation control.
Or Speculation Central.
We can't speculate on the Idaho 4.
No, we can't. We're not really going to talk on that tonight anymore.
But yeah, the Sebastian case.
I was watching another creator, and they were showing the Steven Stearns case today, and they were showing some footage of the news crew putting a dog through this garage. And guess what kind of car was in the garage that they were?
A White Elantra.
Exactly.
I think that's what kind of car picks Sebastian up.
No, the red Mustang or a red little Fiat. That's what it was.
Oh my gosh. Have y'all seen the video with the Dodge Ram red van?
Yes. With the double windows.
That video, that picture is from October of 21.
I don't know if I know that. What is that van? I got to catch up. How did I get behind?
We're gonna not name any creators. I mean, just
Nope.
kind of. Yeah, we're not gonna
Oh,
name any
okay.
creators.
I gotcha.
I sent you that picture, Jeff. You know, it has double rear view mirrors, side mirrors. There was two double
Yeah, the
mirrors.
windshield is
The
doubled.
windshield, yeah, the windshield doubled.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
Here's a disclaimer for the chat. You know, guys, if you start seeing shadows or reflections in places or whatever, you might get off the meth because it's been known to give shadow monsters, and you keeps you in the windows, peeping out, looking for the cops to come bust in your window and or your doorway any moment, stuff like that. So you might need get some help.
You know, with regards to that Sebastian case, though, I guess I kind of lost
Don't you dare
interest in
steal
it.
my story. No, I'm just kidding, Jeff.
No. But in the beginning of that case, I was very interested in it because they were talking about, what could have happened, what's the evidence, and then next thing I know, it's like all taken over with all the drama about the parents, and they're talking about the parents all day long, just ragging on them, and they remind me. You ever? Sometimes when I'm opening up YouTube, I get these. They'll like say, "Oh, here's a video about Foodie Goody." You ever hear of her? She's like I don't know where she's from. She wears the head covering. She's a very big woman, and so her channel is called Foodie Beauty, right? So she's a very big woman. I think she likes to eat a lot, and she makes no apologies about
Booty,
it.
Booty, and Pinocchio.
But these YouTubers will spend their entire chat. I don't stay there the whole time, but it's like all they do is they talk about this woman and they put her down and they just rip her apart. And I go in there and I say she looks like a very nice person. I don't know why y'all are so mean. And then I get like run out of there on a rail, but it's the same kind of thing. It's like is it because the evidence and what the speculation possibilities run out with Sebastian himself? So it's like, okay, what are we going to do with this time we got available? Okay, let's just be the evil, mean people that we are, and the mean-spirited anger that we've got built up in us. We're not driving; we're at our computer, so we can't road rage because we're not at in our car. So
yeah,
let's
like
just
I did
let
today.
them have it.
Foodie Booty, is that her name?
Foodie Beauty. I think that's what you call it. Did I say booty? You know why I said that? Because there used to be an Asian restaurant called Foodie Goody down the street from where I worked.
But Jeff, I want you to know, I mean, you engage both. The way that y'all can go into somebody's chat and debate so politely, y'all need to teach me that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
First, you gotta have your own. You gotta have your black pair of gloves.
Keeps your blood pressure down, that's for sure.
You gotta have your black nitrate gloves, so you don't leave any DNA on your computer keyboard. You don't want to have DNA anywhere.
I gotta plug my eyebrows.
So Texas, you're still blocked from somebody?
I saw something today that said Latol made Brian's eyebrows darker so they'd look bushier.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like they put two different pictures. Like the picture when they booked him into Latol County, his eyebrows looked darker. And the picture that that was been circulating as of yesterday.
Oh, the new mugshot.
Yeah. You can tell the lighting's better in Ada County. That's why his eyebrows are not as dark. Duh. But they're rolling with that. Latol went in and
Meat looks good on him.
They colored in his eyebrows to make them bushier.
Oh my
gosh.
God.
You know what I heard just before you went on live was they were looking at the picture of him getting off the plane or getting onto the plane, and they're like, that doesn't look like him. And I thought, oh my gosh, what kind of theories are you going to go run with now? This isn't him. This is a body double. It's like,
yeah, he's
Saddam
still
Hussein
in Latol. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for them to say, "That's not really him. That's a body double."
You know what I had to say? I couldn't resist. I typed in the chat. I knew it. I'm surprised it didn't get blocked. But I said, well, the pilot's also got bushy eyebrows and wears orange. Maybe that was a pilot you saw.
Wow.
I mean, we have just as much right to sit here and cut up as they have on their damn panels. I've heard a lot of disrespect on their panels. So if they get mad at what we say, we are not a clique. This is my channel, right? So it's not like we're a clique and we're clicking up. You aren't on my panel every day talking the same stuff, right?
Nope.
So they can just chill. I mean, it's like
we can talk about puffer fish to whatever.
The diddler.
Yeah, the diddler. And then I've been helping me and Unfiltered Lucky's been deep diving the Juten case.
That's the one where that murder that happened in the woods where the husband was murdered and the wife was cut, and it was kind of like the Idaho 4, right?
Yeah, I mean it's just like it, but
There was a dog and a surviving roommate or whatever, a surviving person.
Yeah. He's sending me a Blue Yeti microphone.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I said I thought those were coolers.
Right. Yeah, Yeti makes Yeti coolers too. Now, Blue Yeti's not a bad microphone. That's what I've known a couple people. I think even Harsh Reality used to have one till he upgraded to a Shure, I think. And Frank, remember Frank used to be on, he had a channel. I haven't seen him in a long time. Frank
I think I'm going to upgrade to Shure myself. I don't know how good this
Hell, I just want to graduate to StreamYard.
Well, StreamYard is interesting. It's an interesting beast.
You're on StreamYard right now.
Yeah. Did you see how I shared your video? Have you learned how to share stuff
I don't know how to do anything except JLR it.
What do you mean by that? JLR it?
Have you not noticed that JLR, when he's sitting in front of his computer, he'll use his phone to show what he's wanting to show?
Oh, right. Yeah, I've noticed
yeah,
that.
that's what I do.
Yeah, picture in picture.
Yeah, picture in picture.
Poor man's picture in picture.
So yeah, I know that Seth wore a bulletproof vest to court.
Wow.
So, and I think that's when I started thinking that Dog might be sort of playing Seth, because I don't know if y'all saw the post that Dog put out, but it was talking about the creators on YouTube being a bunch of skunks and stuff like that and stinking. And then when Seth got to court the other day, he had his skunk tail braided. And I'm like, there's the head skunk with a bulletproof vest on. So I made a video.
You know what's sad is, it's kind of like there's a stereotype of certain type of individuals, right? And for the unfortunate, for the good people in every situation, the stereotype always wins.
Oh, yeah.
It's like YouTubers, they have such a bad name because of certain creators. And there's good ones. I mean, there's some creators that are high quality. They use great equipment. They go above and beyond. They're awesome. But for every good creator we have, there's those that, just mess up the place for everybody else, whether it be their language or whether it be their views on stuff or, just constantly bickering with people. I am so glad I'm not a member of that demographic.
Look, I told you about the video I made. It was a little short, and it says Ted Bundy was reincarnated into Kohberger. He was summoned from the what is it? The spirit box, hidden in the secret room at Christ Church with the tunnels leading to U of I. And it was an example of clickbait, right? So this girl says, This is shameful. Bitch, please, it was a joke. It says hashtag clickbait.
But you know what? If anybody else presents that, it's thousands of viewers and thousands of praises, and it
If
just
somebody ran with that, I would be so ashamed. I would have to burn it.
I don't know, man. It's just crazy.
I mean,
I talked to Jeff on, we talk pretty regularly, and some of our conversations, they go on some of this stuff, and it's interesting when you see certain lives, and I guess it is about creating content. It's not really about saying, well, my content is real or my content is honest. It's just content. So they're really
damn.
not lying. You know what I mean? They're not really lying. They're not standing behind their product. They're just showing you something most of the time. And I guess that's why some people look at other people's content and go, how can you do that? But it's still kind of distasteful,
I
you know?
mean, even with the theory that I put out about the ego depletion and stuff, I explained this is only a theory.
Yeah.
I know nothing. Nobody knows anything. It is only okay. One person got mad, went over the top, bada boom, bada bing. And explaining what could push somebody to that point.
Well, let me ask y'all this question, okay? And I'm not going to get started on the Idaho 4, but I just
Go
want to
for it.
ask this. I just want to ask this one question. If Brian wasn't the guy, how come there hasn't been any more murders? You think one person that's going to kill that many people is going to sit idle for almost 2 years without killing again in that area?
And let somebody else take the credit for it, or in essence, in the
Yeah.
public eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Well,
makes
if
makes
that
you
was
think.
me and I was completely innocent, that sale that I just came out of in Moscow would have "I am innocent" carved every day into the wall or something. Somebody would listen to me. I'm not sitting there for 2 years.
I think AR was talking about being in there for 7, so not necessarily Latall, but um, he was talking about being in jail awaiting a trial for 7 years. So I don't know.
But did he do it quietly or did he scream from the rafters, "I'm innocent"?
I can't speak for him because he's never really gone that uh that in detail that I have heard. But I've heard him talk about that, and I've heard other people mention that he'd been awaiting trial for like 7 years before. So I don't know if that's the longest that I've ever heard somebody waiting. I don't know if you can even go that long legally. I mean, I would think that I mean, because I can't really recall the interview where he was talking, but I do remember him saying that, he waited 7 years before, you know, he was to go to trial. And I think they released him because they didn't have anything on him. Did you ever hear that, Jeff, or am I misquoting it?
Yeah, I don't remember the details of that. No.
Okay.
But it does make me wonder, like, if you think about the Ali guy, the TikTok murderer. I mean,
Mhm.
that guy can't keep his mouth shut for anything. So
No.
he's in jail. He wants to talk to everybody. But then I mean, I don't know Brian Koberger, but if you got a guy who's generally quiet to begin with, ends up in a situation like this, I think be fine with being quiet. Just let be quiet, let the chips fall where they may, and let Ann do her job.
See, I'm still a
But
stickler
me,
on I'm still a stickler on the "I can't wait to be exonerated" instead of acquitted.
Well, I mean, as far as the criminal justice system is concerned, people can say just about anything. This guy, Ali, that Jeff was just talking about and what we're discussing in the case is, I mean, he was saying all kinds of crazy stuff. You saw him go
He
off.
couldn't hold back. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw him go off on the police detective that investigated the case, and he was going off in the courtroom. So, I mean, he didn't care whether the jury saw that or not.
And you can
Like,
tell he's kind of
and
worked up with that reporter too. That reporter was through the
yeah,
glass,
yeah.
you know.
I mean, it is a very interwoven thought process where you're above another person and you're looking to regain control, and that's what we've heard so much on killers. They want that method of control. They want to emit their control over their victims. So it doesn't matter about whether I stalked you, whether I was infatuated with you, any of that. That's just kind of the symptom of the overall problem. So if if you become infatuated with somebody and you want them to a point, and that urge that you can never have them, normal people, they fight that urge and say, well, I'm going to move on, or I'm going to go find somebody else to kind of pine over, or whatever. But I would assume that a killer would be like, well, I can't get this to shut off. My brain is stuck on this person. And if I can't have them, what's the saying?
Well, see, that's the reason
No,
that
what's
when
the
I went
saying
into
though? What's the saying? If I
if I
can't
can't
have
have them,
them,
nobody will.
right. So that is you quieting that voice in your head. That urge is so strong.
That's how I came up. That's where I went with the ego depletion. Is because his whole world is falling out around him at school. He's getting fired. He's getting wrote up. He's getting reprimanded. Everything is just crashing down. I figure by now his visual snow is probably creeping back up. So now you've got the dissociation and the depersonalization that comes along with the visual snow. And so he's already in ego depletion. And we're going to say that Xana is just walking down the sidewalk at WSU with her sister. And I don't know, y'all have heard me talk about Ashley, the girl that died on Lindsay Lane.
Yeah.
She looks just like Xana.
Rondi, the answer to your question, it's not just a male thing, because there was a serial killer out of Florida. Her name was Eileen Warnos, and she's a unique one as well. There's a lot of women killers out there, and the urge to control something, like, I I don't know how to describe it because I've never been a killer, you know what I mean? But based on what I've read and what I've seen, it's almost like a uncontrollable, out of control dissociation from reality.
Right.
Hey, Glitter, how you doing? Welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. So you have that urge to regain control of your life, and like with this case right here that we're talking about.
What time is it, Kelly? 10:10. 10:10. Right here. Sorry.
the 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 case that we're talking about right now with the TikTok murder, he was losing control over his wife. He was losing control over his TikTok fame. He had started using cocaine. It was messing with his brain. He was spiraling, and they use that word a lot of times. And when you're in that spiral, you're just clinging to anything to regain that control. What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, I can see that. I wonder. I was just sitting here wondering about, like, well, what Nino was saying, that when he said, BK said he looked forward to being exonerated. Is it possible that somebody that plans a crime like this, where it seems planned, and seems like the plan, part of the plan being, keep everybody quiet. I know Texas was, and I was just had a chat go back and forth for a second about the four of the victims. That's why I was saying that at least seems like all four of them got to be quiet in order for this to have happened the way it did. So basically, let me shorten it this way. If he's got this much planning going into what he's going to do, how much planning does he also have on the back end of it to be ready and prepared for should he get caught? If he's caught, what will he say? If he's caught, how will he act? If he's caught, will he be a loudmouth yelling, you got the wrong guy? Or will he be completely quiet? Especially if he feels like, I think I got away with it. I think I planned this perfectly, got away with it. Oh, I'm being arrested. Okay, they can't have anything on me because you start thinking about everything. It's like, oh man, maybe when I was practicing with the knife sheath the night before, I wasn't wearing gloves. Oh man, I bet that's it. I bet it's inside the button sheath. But I just gonna have to be quiet because it doesn't help me to open my mouth at all.
I think you're giving the guy too much credit. I mean,
yeah.
If anything, if he did it, he's been fantasizing about the crime. You know how when they say after the crime, there's that sense of euphoria where you either take something as a souvenir or you have to find a way to relive that crime. Well, what better way to relive the crime than have to talk about it every day, read about it, be be going to court over it. You get what I'm saying?
Right. So maybe
It's
that's
never it
not so
never
bad for.
Yeah, it never leaves you. It's always there. It's always a part of you.
It's like we're getting together in this room. There's the judge. What are we going to be talking about today? Oh, me.
Kind of like what we're
Yeah.
doing. We don't even know him and we talk about him nonstop.
But maybe the back end planning isn't so present before the crime. But in the days following the crime, I wonder if you're thinking about that. It's like, okay, they're looking for me. They got a bolo out for White Elantra. Oh boy. Ooh.
But also, Jeff, as far as the chameleon effect, many people just want to keep up that normal existence. Look at BTK. He killed all those, he started killing, and then he didn't kill again for like what, 25 years, 13 years, something like that. Then he started back up again. So he went back into his normal routine. Didn't kill. You know what I'm saying? So to be that chameleon and to shift gears and say, well, okay, it's I'm trying to put word to it because it's so I know what I want to say, but I don't want to use the word that I want to describe it in. You know what I mean? It's like trying to let's say I don't want to use drugs or alcohol, but it's kind of like that. But
yeah, it's a euphoria.
It's like you can't have something and then you finally get it, but you don't want to use up
What is it
what
they say?
you
They get satiated.
right. You don't want to use it up. You don't want to use that memory up because you enjoy the high, the dopamine release every time you think about it, every time you experience it again. It's kind of like being in love. Every
Yeah,
time
with that
but in a twisted way, it's
very
like
twisted.
it would be like, okay, your doctor says you can't have sweets, okay? And then you think
Here
about
comes
it.
the biggest chocolate cake.
Yeah, you can't have sweets. So therefore, you're fascinated by every sweet you pass and it builds up that urge, it builds up that craving. And you keep romanticizing all the time the sweets gave you a good feeling. Well, in his case, it would be kind of like all the times that he was called fat and bullied and all that, which would be the total opposite. You get what I'm saying? His was the other way around. He was in a state of dysphoria, not euphoria. So therefore, whenever you finally sneak a pack of little Debbie's in the bathroom and you
No
gorge down
pun intended.
and you gorge down on them, and then you like, and then you feel guilty. What are you going to do the next day? You're not going to tell somebody you just did something you weren't supposed to, right? And that's
But
very
see, also going back to the bullying, now he's getting to walk into the jail, a quadruple murder suspect, big 6 foot whatever, and plucked eyebrows and blonde hair and buff.
well, the reality of this whole case, and even the one that we're talking about right now, the reality is this: if he did it, he knows he did it.
Right.
His
And to
defense
those that
lawyer.
don't think he did it, are you going to let him come have a slumber party at your house when he gets out?
I mean, I've even had people calling him very attractive and handsome and this and that on the photos, and it's like, okay, how are you that how are you that invested that you're able to call a picture attractive when you don't even know the man? I don't know. That just weirds me out a little bit.
Yeah,
But what I was
me
saying,
personally, I'm trying to figure out a mystery. I mean, when you start to talk about his look being good looking and all this kind of stuff, it
Yeah.
sounds like you've already made the decision. Okay, that you're convinced he's innocent. Now let's talk about just normal stuff like, oh, look at he's looking good. What's his hair product that he's using? And
See, when I did the ego depletion, I went back as far as, him studying Darwinism and being a libertarian and the drug addiction. And I pretty much let the stuff that I knew of in his life, it led me to, do that kind of research. And I'm not going to say that I understand him, but I understand ego depletion and threatened egotism now.
so
Because
when you presented that, what kind of feedback did you get?
really good. I mean, I presented it on Drunk Turkey.
Okay.
And I mean, I've got the series, I've got a 3-part series, and one is introducing Ashley and his pictures of her and Xana and everything.
I remember that.
And then one is the Linda Lane and Lindsay Lane. I mean, you've got two girls that look alike, and they're both on Lindsay Lane and Linda Lane. You can't make that stuff up, y'all.
yeah, a lot of coincidences with the names.
I mean, Lindsay Lane and Linda Lane, and he was the only suspect on with Ashley, but it was finally ruled a overdose.
I don't know. It's just a very strange case, and I have my own thoughts, and sometimes I battle within myself on certain things. When I'm doing presentations online, when it's live, I'm trying to present the best non-bias that I can do, but sometimes, you just can't go on listening because like this crime right here that I keep talking about, I was listening to the court hearing today, and I kept trying to be objective when I was listening to this guy respond. And I was like, okay, give him the benefit of the doubt because I didn't know whether he was going to be guilty or not. I've never heard about this case. And I didn't see the case in the documentary. I didn't see the ending. So I was listening to it and I kept just focusing on the attorney, and she was making it so difficult for him to weasel out of the answers. You know what I mean? And they did show photos of her domestic violence and things like that. But he never lost his cool. He was just getting irritated with the question because as if you've ever been in court or you've ever seen an attorney at work, they don't just give you one question. They're rattling 3 or 4 questions at once intertwined together with a statement. So
With one word answer.
yeah, and they want a yes or no, and you're like, well, I don't know how the hell to answer this. And I kind of felt for him for a minute, and I was conflicted. And because I want to get to a case where I have hardly any information, and I really want to know where my brain stands regarding innocence or guilt. Because this one it doesn't have, there's so much on it that I can't logically make innocence or guilt until I hear the trial. until I hear all the evidence. And you know what's going to be sad if we don't get to hear the evidence and all we hear is the verdict, because that's going to be, that's almost going to be as bad as the OJ trial. People are going to be looting in the streets, burning down the court.
Now, how many people said they were going to do that?
Why would you do that though? I could see in the OJ trial. I could see in the Rodney King trial. I could see in the OJ trial. I could see in those trials. Why would you do that in this trial? I just don't understand that. Anybody?
Uh,
Why would you even threaten that?
Good old boys.
That don't no. I've been raised around good old boys. They talk a mean talk, but half the time they're just gonna get
Yeah,
some
but you know that
beer.
you got that group that we're not allowed to discuss.
Oh my God! You just get a 12-pack of beer, go in the field, and talk shit. That's all you do.
Right.
You don't really go burn down the damn courthouse or lynch him in the street or whatever the hell that it was said. You're not going to do all that. You just talk a mean talk.
Also, too, I could understand if it was like, all four of them weren't directly from. It sounds like they grew up in Moscow, so it's like, oh, we're so mad, we're gonna burn down our own town. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. What do even these rednecks, what'd you call them, good old boys, will stop and say, hold on, this doesn't make any sense. Why are we?
Y'all know we're just going to have to rebuild that courthouse.
I'm mad at that guy, so I'm going to shoot myself in the foot. It's
right.
That
well, at least we'll get us some work after we burn it down.
Did they ever say how many people uttered something like burn? So it could have been just one guy, one angry.
Yeah, they could have interrupted at a bad time or something.
Guy named Marvin lived at the end of the block.
Marvin.
Angry Marvin. He's angry about everything. You don't ask him any questions.
They might have interrupted Enon Hart doing his twirly sticks.
And if they know they got an angry Marvin in that town, you know that they're probably like, Edelman, when you're doing that survey, be sure you talk to angry Marvin. We need his answer.
Call him 4 times.
Yeah, call him at dinner time too.
Because I don't know about you, but I don't like to be harassed by freaking telemarketers.
Right.
And most of the time you don't answer people that you don't know when they're like, excuse me, sir, can I take 5 minutes of your time to ask you some questions that are... No, hold on. I'm not selling anything. Hold on. It has to do with the recent situation that happened in their town, and we're just trying to see exactly the pulse of the community. We're wanting to see if there's any kind of bias or unbiasedness in the community with the potential trial coming on. Is there any? Can I take a couple minutes of your time? I mean, I know it's late in the evening, but this is the best time to catch most people, I've been told. So.
And now he blasts the radio with burning down the house.
And everybody's got a bias of some sort, right?
And that's when the guy says, well, you know what? I'm fixing to eat my fried chicken. I don't give a damn if they burn the damn place down.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could see that. That's
I'm
not
going
like,
out
that's
there
not
with
like
my
a crazy
pitchfork.
notion.
And if they don't get him burning it down, I hope the good old boys get him walking while he's out walking down the street.
To that damn dumpster.
But I do think the way the judge was listing all the logistical problems with the courthouse and everything, it's like, well, why are you listing that there? These have been problems since the beginning. If this is like a huge part of what helped you make the hardest decision of your career to move this trial, that's a big part of it. The thing that's always been there is a big part of it, and then you got this angry Marvin that said he's going to burn the courthouse down. So with those things in mind, we should move it. It's like, well, it seems like you could have just made that decision long ago.
So is Blondie in general population?
Blondie, the singer?
No. Koberger.
He's not blonde.
Blondie?
His hair looks blonde now.
Maybe it's the lighting up in the... Did you say the lighting at Ada?
Yeah, Ada has some awesome lighting. You know, they had a professional photographer to put your.
Yeah. You know, they were talking about that on a live stream I popped in on today. They were comparing the side by side photographs when he was, what do you call it
It
again?
looks a
Mugshots.
little
The two
jaundiced.
mugshots. And if you do look at the original one, it's the light is coming from above and he's got a long shadow across his neck, right? So it's terrible lighting. But
Mm.
this new one, the light is, you see his neck is lit. If the
Well, they
neck is
had those
received,
new bulbs that they bought from the Dick Man.
the green bulbs.
Wow.
No, but if you look at
Yeah.
his neck in the new mugshot, you see his neck is receiving light. There's no shadow on it, which means the angle of the light is about the same as like his eyes. It's basically camera level, shining right into his eyes, and you see the
Right.
reflection of the light in his eyes. So yeah, it's more like it is. Somebody says, "Oh, it looks like he went to Olin Mills and had his portrait taken. He looks so good," and it's like, all right, can we talk about the victims again? We're forgetting about those, and
Yeah, those
He
four.
went to Olin Mills of Boise.
yeah.
Yeah, Olin, he stopped off on the way. You know, he was on the plane. They said, "Hey, can you pull over to Sears? They're having a special on."
They
You
just
know,
wouldn't let him hold the pitchfork.
yeah, they're having a sale on inmate photos. I think I want to send some to my parents back
But
home.
seriously, is he in general population?
Texas says no. He's probably in protective custody, and I've heard that is a thing. That is a thing. So I was wrong on my video yesterday, but you know,
Hmm.
I can't be right all the time.
I just don't know if
Unlike
I agree with that.
unlike some other people that they just spit out all this stuff and they never say I'm wrong or I was mistaken or I was misquoted.
See, I don't have to ever worry about that. They don't but 30 people watch my videos.
You need a bigger shovel.
You got it's like a good a fair. It's an okay sized family reunion, right?
That's right.
28 of them are your relatives, right?
That's right, dang it. Marty went and made 27
and then
subscribing
Jeff,
things.
and then Jeff and I are the other two.
That's right. That's the reason y'all are always tagged.
Yeah.
And you bastards don't watch them.
I have a million things going on. I really do not. I mean,
Did you watch your video, Gage? Nope.
yes, I did. I finally watched that one. That was pretty awesome. I like that. I didn't know
Yeah,
what you were
I think I do have
talking
short
about.
attention span when it comes to watching videos. Now I can.
That's the reason I do shorts.
I definitely have a thing for live streams. Well, of course, in the interaction of live streams is what's appealing. Is that it's
Yeah, see,
happening
I don't have
live.
those
It's right
either. I sit
now.
up there by myself.
Well, I want to show something Jeff did. I was going to show this earlier, but I want to show it before it gets too late.
Okay.
Show it. Show it.
See it, right? Keep talking. I don't mean y'all.
I don't even know what it is. While we're waiting for 12 Gauge to pull up this next video.
Hey, can you step by step that?
This presentation has been brought to you by Deer Park Water. On sale at Giant Food for $2 for $8.
Pitchforks are us.
Oh, dang. You didn't post it, Jeff. You just sent it to me, right?
What's that?
The video you sent me today with the difference.
Oh yeah. Well, you could probably bring it up on your browser and show it. Yeah, it's an unlisted link right now. I'm still kind of tweaking it a little and trying to figure out exactly.
Well, you
how
want to
it'll
show the
end up being.
raw?
You can. Yeah, it's fine. Actually, I was thinking about posting it as the way it is, but then actually this is a better way to do it. Kind of it's gonna be like a focus group and get some opinions.
I guess y'all can tell my videos never get edited.
You guys keep talking while I do this.
Well, I have to get you on Adobe Premiere, Nina, or something.
What's
Well,
that?
do you use CapCut to edit your videos, or?
I've used CapCut on a couple of them.
I think CapCut is similar to Adobe Premiere, but yeah, it's not the. I don't know. I shouldn't say it's not too hard. I've been using it for a long time, and I think anything that you
The
do on a
shorts I'm
regular
okay
basis.
with because of TikTok. I learned how to do videos on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's just the lives that I'm struggling with.
There's a kind of a new creator that's kind of I saw featured on somebody else's live stream. Just I think might even just been yesterday, but she's got a British accent and she has a big TV and she points her phone at the TV that's got the Linda Lane footage and she analyzes it. But I just thought to myself, it's like, oh,
That's called
it's too bad you
JLR.
can't use a Adobe Premiere because her phone's shaking all over the place and it's cool though. I mean, I enjoyed seeing another creator come along with some new perspectives on looking at this stuff. It's kind of nice to get some new fresh eyes on something and make sure you.
My videos are definitely out there.
But
okay, I got it. So let me pull it up, and I mean, I'm not a tech guru either, Nina, but I'll try.
I'm a somewhat techie, and I just always have something going on. I never can get around to. I mean, I'm surprised I even was able to even throw this together. I think I threw it together last night before I went to bed.
Okay, guys, this is the premiere for 1320 Linda Lane, 11:16 p.m. Difference Mode by Jeff H. You've seen it first on 12 Gauge Investigative. Tell your friends.
Yeah, so I'd never done anything with the 1320 camera with difference mode. And then I thought to myself, the other video I did was 1330, Linda Lane difference mode, but it was the entire screen was just all black like that.
See, did I send you the video, Jeff, of when the white truck goes by at 156?
On this video?
Yeah.
Kind of goes right in front of the camera there, real close, and freezes.
No, at the end of the road down there, you can see the white Dodge Ram that the private driver drives at 1:56 a.m.
Let me play this video.
Yeah, you can just have it running in the background. That means there's nothing.
Oh, okay.
Nothing really happens for quite a while. I mean, but you do get a sense. I think difference mode is really cool. And I did mess with the sound a little. I'm still kind of trying to figure out the best way to, present the sound. I think on the last stuff I did, I might have put a little bit too much noise reduction on it. Last thing I want to do is create things that might get heard or misunderstood. I'm just trying to make it so that you.
Is this the cat video?
Where it goes in the
cat was during this time. I know there's that cat runs by a couple times. It runs by during the day too when the sun's out and the camera's in color.
Oh, really?
Have y'all seen the video where it's talking about all the lights being on and people being in those cars and everything?
Yeah.
In what cars?
The cars lined up on the left, they're saying that all the lights are on in the cars because people are inside them.
Oh, jeez. Really?
Yeah.
Who said that? No, don't tell me who said that.
I'm not. See there, I do have a filter.
Oh, my gosh. That's all right.
Oh, my goodness. That is not...
Look at that car on the far left. Its license plate is nuclear. It's glowing. That must mean there's somebody in that car, too. Yeah. It's okay. When you have an understanding of the technology of this kind of stuff, then your mind goes to more probable and realistic conclusions. And when you don't, I mean, you
can blow those pixels up and find anything you want to.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, it feels like just listening to like caveman thinking, like, show a caveman an iPhone, and what's he going to say? What's his explanation going to be of what you just showed him? It's going to be a little off.
There was two cars right there. One passed by on Taylor.
What time is it?
I don't know. There's not a time stamp.
Down on the bottom right
corner.
Yeah.
Well, I kept the timestamps in the bottom right.
Yeah, it's bottom right corner.
11:17-ish, I guess.
Oh, okay.
That was that car that went by at 11:17, then comes back by probably about 11:30.
See, because when they're talking about the private driver, he goes by at 156 and then he comes back by at 158.
I'm sorry, guys. Don't leave the chat. We're just showing pretty much Jeff's video, and then we're.
Well, you know what's I mean, what's interesting, and I've been wanting to do this little thing for a while, is just when you watch the difference mode, it just helps you focus your eyes. You don't have to worry, did I miss something? Did something move and I missed it? I mean, it really it helps you see whether it be a light that turns on in a window for just a second, or you see, this
So is
car
it like
moving.
it's not infrared? It's just capturing light.
No, it's what it
Okay,
basically
see,
is.
like
I
right
take
there, is capturing that light from that vehicle coming down the hill over there by Taylor. If you
it's got
look
a
in the
little
middle of the
video
difference
glitch right
mode,
there in the bottoms.
yeah, if you look in the difference mode screen, you would have saw it. It's right there in the middle of the screen, kind of.
Yeah, so basically what difference mode is, I take the first frame of the video and make a still picture of it. And then I combine it with the actual moving video, and then it's inverted. So basically, in essence, what you get is that anything moving is going to show really, clearly everything that's not moving and is the same since the first frame of the video. It kind of cancels itself out and it just becomes a black screen.
I'm here for the cat.
I guess I understand a lot of this because I used to build movies at the movie theater.
Yeah, this difference mode was cool because a guy I used to work with showed me this trick. Basically,
but could you
for
use
lining
that?
things up.
Can that be used in court, or is that considered altered?
I don't know. I mean, it's just helping to see. It's like we
But
put
you see, there
black
goes
on the
that
video.
car. There goes the car back by, and it's 11:21. So it went by at 11:17, heading west, and then went back by heading east at 11:21. So that was 4 minutes.
What is Rondi meaning by "can I not"? What do you mean?
She's begging us to stop.
Oh, not no
Idaho.
Idaho green.
I mean, it's cool how you see the lighting clear. See, there's a
Yeah,
car.
yeah. That was a lot better.
Yeah, but I mean that's a whole reason to even do it. See the bug fly by. You see it, right? This is basically.
Are you
this
sure
is
that was a? Are you sure that was a bug?
It was a.
It was a
cougar, I know.
flashlight.
It was
Farley.
See, did you hear that?
Was that
car?
a moo cow?
Yeah.
Look, you see that light up there? That's cool, man. That car is accelerating up the hill. Y'all didn't hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a loud car.
And here
See,
comes
there's
another car coming by.
And now
Yeah,
that's when Mob Crew puts his sound in there, and that's what amazes me. Like Jeff does.
In the regular. Wow, that's a loud one.
Wow.
In the regular image, I don't get as much a clear sense of the square of you go down Taylor, you make a left, you go up that road, and then you make a left on Nez Pierce to go behind Sigma Chi. You really kind of get a sense of it from the difference mode. You can see the road, but in the regular video, it's.
Yeah, I'll premiere this again tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this with all the footage that's available from this camera because it hadn't been done yet, and I just think it helps you to see. You can go right to things that are moving.
Well, here comes the car coming down.
Oh, I bet you that's that Dodge van.
Good night, Rondi.
Good night, Rondi.
Are you sure?
This is
no, that's a truck. I've never seen this. I've never seen this before.
Yeah, this is like the earliest Linda Lane clip, 11 11:20. Well, it starts at like 11:15, 11:16 p.m.
Was
So
that
it's
a
the
flyer?
earliest of all the Linda Lane stuff. It's the earliest time frame.
How different does it look going into daylight? Didn't I send you one going into daylight?
Yeah, I got the daylight clips too. These are, I got my clips from either Sigma Chi or that Reddit YouTube channel. I think the Reddit YouTube channel had a few more clips, and I think that's the one that's what I'm using for this.
Well, look, since this is 11:16, you said it started at 11:16, right? So we're at 11:24 right here.
Oh, somebody wants to know, where is the camera compared to 11:22?
So it's in the next. There's one building in between this camera.
This
and
driveway goes up into the
1330.
Yeah.
So basically, this camera is on a building that's like a 2-level building and this camera's on it. There's an identical building to this building next to it, but then it's the very next building is where you got the camera with the fence and where you see the Elantra at 4:05 a.m. In my
Are y'all going to the trial?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it's probably get a better chance of a seat now. It's a bigger courtroom.
Yeah, 11:24. This red car is still right here.
Yeah,
This
that red car is exactly the same spot from 11:15 p.m. on the 12th till 7 a.m. on the 13th. It doesn't move a bit. So I don't know what the claims were about that car.
Well, supposedly this is the red car that dropped Maddie and Kaylee off, and this was the red car that picked them up at the grub truck. And the murder supposedly happened back by this little shed area in between the house and the shed.
I don't know. That car is moving. It's just so, but that car is not moving at whatsoever. There's just a likely a chance they got picked up by that dumpster. It's on wheels.
They put them in a wheelchair and wheeled them down the road.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying that's what I heard, on these YouTube streets. I mean, there's just like you said about every light on those cars was on. That's not. How can you viably buy that as a person? How can you say, well, that might be right.
You know what they're forgetting though is if those lights are on, the lights cast outward away from the light bulb itself, onto the ground, but you don't see any of that. You just see so it's just the reflection of the infrared light on the camera that is reflecting off the license plates or whatever is reflective on the back of those cars. That's all that is.
What's frustrating is when you've got a video like that and everybody is just like flocking to it, but everybody wants to laugh at me when I say, well, they could have stood the ladder up and got up on the ledge and looked in the window. The ladder was standing up for a reason.
I've never heard you say that, but okay.
Oh, I've got a whole video on that. And I got it.
I guess I got to go check out your library. I've been busy, it's a full-time job keeping this channel
I've got a video explaining the 8 hours.
I will really have to
I should check them out too, Nina. I haven't done my homework. What is your notion on the ladder though? Who you're saying that some of the friends that went and looked through the window instead of going
they only called one friend. They did not call friends. They called one friend. They called Hunter. Listen to me like I know I was there. In my opinion.
Thank you.
In my opinion, in my opinion, the girls were texting and everything. And the exculpatory evidence that they think Bethany has, and this is straight from Stacy Chapin, is she yelled up the stairs for them to STFU because she thought that the frat boys was fighting with Ethan and she was making them shut up. Okay. So from what is told in that interview is that The girls hear the furniture and everything shuffling around. They hear the yelling, and they're texting back and forth. Can you believe they brought this to the dang house and continue this fight? Blah, blah, blah. You know. And so once it's over, because Dylan makes the statement that she originally went to bed in her bed. The only reason you originally do something is if you change it. So I think that when he left, it was completely dark in there. She ran downstairs, got in the bed with Bethany. They locked the door and they went to sleep because they didn't know if the frat guys were coming back. And the exculpatory evidence would be Bethany yelling upstairs to STFU, thinking that it was the frat guys. They didn't call the police because they were convinced it was the frat guys. So that would say, well, it wasn't a stranger killing our friends. You see what I'm saying? So the next morning, she comes upstairs, Dylan comes upstairs, and there's something wrong. You know, she can't get in the door or anything like that. And she calls Hunter. Now, Hunter is at a frat house. And he's like, dude, what do you mean something's wrong with Ethan? He was supposed to meet me, blah, blah, blah. You know, well, you've got what, 25, 30 frat guys in there hearing that. So he goes over there. They can't get the door open. So he goes outside. How many times has that ladder been laying down? That ladder's been laying down for 700 years. Okay. And that day, that ladder is standing straight up underneath that ledge, underneath Xana's window. And I think he climbed that ladder, got up on the ledge, looked through the window blinds, and said, call 911. And that is when Dylan fainted and Dylan fainted and Bethany started hyperventilating. Hence, the ambulance being called for somebody that was passed out because Dylan passed out. Okay. And nobody knew what was going on. They get the door open. Hunter goes in because Stacy Chapin makes the statement that he's the one that checked for a pulse on Ethan and even tried to do CPR, and that he is the one that kept Maisie and his brother Hunter from seeing Ethan like that. So by now, it has traveled all over fraternity and sorority row, and people are showing up. And you can't tell me that they got called out there for a dang unconscious person because, you know, the little snapshot that they tell daily of their calls, it says coroner call, it says homicide, it says coroner called, detectives called, and everything. They knew there was a dead body when they got there. Now, bless Kaylee and Maddie's heart, nobody even knows they're up there yet. All they found so far is Ethan and Xana.
Right, two unalived is, you'd think, oh, that's too much. Why would you even think there'd be more? Yeah.
And so now the two girls find out that the other two are gone.
Yeah. Well, so you're saying that they used the ladder to look in the window because Xana's bedroom door was closed and they couldn't get in there? That's why they looked through the window? Well, which then lends itself to like this notion that all these people trampled over the crime scene, and it's like, no, the crime scene's no good. I mean, it sounds like there's a possibility other than Hunter going in checking his pulse. It's probably, you know,
well, I mean, you got to consider
definitely preserved upstairs on the third floor.
Yeah, they've already made Stacy Chapin's already made the statement that he was keeping Maisie and Hunter from in there.
Yeah,
and I mean, you can't blame these kids. I mean, they're running in the house just trying to get to their brother.
Right.
Well, here's a question from Glitter. She asked, why do you think BK asked if anyone else had been arrested? And I just read this. And you know, it's really weird. You can read a question a million times, you can hear the question. And a thought flashed through my head. If somebody was asking that question, it's kind of like a kid that says, you know, you say, hey, have you been in the cookie jar? Are you the only one that's been in the cookie jar? Well, have you asked the other kids?
Right.
Well, that's admitting that you're part of it, right?
And see, I think Xana was the target because Xana's lock is the one that got changed a week before the murders. Xana had a falling out with a male 2 weeks before this happened. Now, everybody took for granted that it was one of the frat guys, okay? It could have been her brushing the perp off, okay? We know that she worked at Mad Greek. Her sister went to WSU. I mean, she's the one that got the DoorDash order. I mean, she checks all the boxes. You know what I'm saying? And I think that he waited for that DoorDash delivery. And I think that when she bent down to pick up the food, he put the sharp edge at her neck and led her down the hallway. Okay? And I think that Ethan was passed out drunk. And you know, when you're passed out drunk, they say it's what, one molecule difference between that and anesthesia or something. But anyway, if he woke up, he was in a stupor. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the way he was laying in the bed, his head was at the where it's coming down the outside. And so that also explains they didn't have to go upstairs. If he took care of his target down here, he wouldn't have had to go upstairs. But he went on upstairs anyway, okay? But on the way down, he hears whimpering and realizes that Xana is still alive. And he goes in there and he looks at her, and to give her this sadistic false hope, he says, "It's okay. I'm here to help you." To calm her down and to stop her from whimpering.
I got to point out, though, the PCA doesn't use the word here. It's okay. I'm going to help you.
Okay.
And it's only important because everybody uses it to make it sound like it must have been a police officer. I'm here to help you, because that's what a police officer say. I'm here, but to say.
But what I'm saying is, I think that he was just giving her that false hope.
Well, now what time do you think the crimes occurred, though? How do you explain 4:12 a.m. with Xana's TikTok? It says, "Never forget the foundation in the bathtub."
Because I think that I think that she sent the TikTok right before she bent over to get the DoorDash. And when she bent over to get the DoorDash, the sharp edge went up against her neck.
Okay, we're getting too into all this. Like, it's getting. I mean, I enjoy the convo, but I mean, we're talking as if we know. You know what I mean?
Okay, humble opinion. Humble opinion.
Humble opinion. Thank you. Did you watch the 48 hours about the case?
Yes.
I did not. I don't watch a lot of those stuff because it just adds to the confusion of what's already been told. You know what I mean? Like, I try to just watch the news reports, read the documents, and try to analyze the crime from a criminal perspective, you know?
And see, I think that's when I was doing that, because see, I mean, you know, he underlined, it says page 120 in a book, right? And at first I thought, oh, that's going to be the manifesto of what's his name? And I was like, nope, that's not a book. Do y'all know how many pages of Sigmund Freud I read? Because he was a big Sigmund Freud fan. And I actually did not find it in a Sigmund Freud book. The page 120 that I think was highlighted, this is strictly off of my mentality, is
Handmaid's Tale?
Hell no.
And I thought that's what the page 120 was referring to, the Handmaid's Tale.
I thought it was going to be Sigmund Freud, but I found Anne Freud.
I thought there was a part in the Handmaid's Tale on page 120 where the male character has two women on a bed or something, and something along those lines. And
well, see, in the Anne Freud book on page 120, it's talking about that she has insulted him and she must be dealt with. And that's in a book by Anne Freud which is a lesbian, and Ashley Flugel was a lesbian. And then he had that drawing that's a man's mind, and there's a Sigmund Freud drawing, and it's what's on a man's mind.
Now, one thing I want to know, Nina, is what kind of batteries do you use in your rabbit hole flashlight? They got to last.
Let me tell you,
that thing is deep. That thing is deep. I'm getting stressed out and anxiety just listening. I'm like, man, this is too much. I can't. My brain feels like it wants to explode. I mean, I'm glad that people go that deep with it. It just doesn't. I mean, I'm not that. I don't want to use the word fanatical because I don't want to, call people names or anything. But
fanatical.
It seems like a lot of energy to put into something that you may never know. It could be something as simple as, you know what, he got angry at anything, or he said, okay, today's the day.
Right.
I'm done. I'm done with life. I'm done with my world. I'm gonna go do what I need to
Oh
do.
yeah, I mean, I will never be arrogant enough to say I'm sitting in Gadsden, Alabama, and solved the Idaho 4. I mean,
Even if you do, Nina, even if we find out that all these theories that you have at this moment, if it comes out that you're right on, are people going to believe
do I
you?
get a prize?
No. Do any of us get a prize?
That's what I'm saying. What are we doing it for?
Well, I started doing this whole thing to educate, to give people a different perspective of how crime and theories and all that works, how to kind of pick apart a crime. Not necessarily solve it, but pick it apart to the point where you
Yes.
can use analytical reasoning behind your thoughts.
Yes.
Not just talk about it and get ideas on, what could have happened.
I mean, the first time that I heard the interview with Stacy Chapin, I won't never forget. I was sitting in the bed and I was listening, and my daughter had told me about the atrocity. Anyway,
You can
and
say
I go
murder.
running. I go running in there, and I'm like, Tamla, did you know this? Blah 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 blah. No. Did you know this? Blah 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 blah. Stacy Chapin just said blah 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 blah. She said, "What? Send me that." And this was when I first started. I've just been doing this since January. And
You know what's sad too, Nina? I didn't mean to cut you off, but my thought process is right here. Is the parents have spoken like that? Stacy's spoken like that, as you're saying. Steve has spoken like that. But yet they're not taken seriously. They're taken as taking a stance to try to impede justice.
well, Stacy Chapin must have been took serious because it's scrubbed.
I'm just
What
saying.
is scrubbed from Stacy?
The only
and I only
thing
ask
that
because so many times when I hear somebody say it's scrubbed, 2-minute Google search, and it's like, wait, I've got it right here. So I'm just curious to ask.
No, what it is it's the November 17th interview. They're sitting in front of that black bookcase, and they're getting interviewed by the local girl that sort of looks like Kaylee.
King 5 Seattle?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the longest one you can find is like 10 minutes and 21 seconds.
Right.
It
I did
should
notice
be
that.
about 13, 14 minutes. And they're sitting there, and that's when she tells it. And the only reason that I can prove it is because I have so much documentation of the same people, of different people hunting the same clip.
Is it possible? I know there was that reporter. I think I may have seen a longer clip too, but I think the beginning of the clip had the reporter like sitting at a picnic table with the laptop open, talking to them. And is it possible that she just cut off her little intro to that, and then just they said, we don't really need what you said at the beginning. We only need
No,
the
because
Chapin's
the
answer.
part where she says the 2 o'clock hour is even scrubbed.
No, I got that. I got the link
Oh,
to
you've
that.
got that
That's
one?
still there. That's in the 10-minute. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that's come up so many times
Yes,
where
yes,
people say
yeah, it
2
is.
a.m. is a dark hour, and they say it as if, oh my gosh, she said this just yesterday. She said that they posted that on November 15th. The
Right.
murders happened on the 13th, and no telling exactly when they recorded her saying that. Could have been earlier than that. So her
They
saying
should even
something
have a
that early
timeline
on in
by
the
then.
case, yeah, that's just a little too early to even know anything. I mean, the only thing I could think of what she's meaning by that, and what would be nice just to ask her, or maybe she'll say it in court what is meant by that if it comes up. But I mean, we do know that the 156 is when the Kaylee and Maddie were supposedly got home, right? And
Right.
there's that leaked picture from the light bulb camera at 156. I think that is to imply this is the camera view where we saw them drive by. So this.
Maybe she meant that's when it all started. That's why it
Right.
was a dark hour.
Or that's the last time you knew they were alive. After that, you just don't know. So 2 a.m. is a dark hour. Prior to 2
At 2
a.m.
a.m.,
is
he may
life.
have sent his mom an "I love you" text.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
possible.
it could have been, "Good night, Mom, love you."
I mean, you know what? You know what's going to be interesting is when the trial actually starts, and none of this that we've talked about for 2 years is even mentioned. And
None of
people
it
are like,
happened.
"No, ask him about Linda Lane. Ask him about the light bulb camera. Ask
What
him
about
about this."
Wesley Flugel?
And they're like not talking about any of that.
What about Farley?
Yes, and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine what, if they do watch any of the videos, can you imagine what some of the conversations are? Look at them. They are sitting there with all their lights on, and they're sitting there in their car waiting on the wheelchair to come by. And that's the
Well, it
prosecution.
definitely does feel like almost any theory is fair game.
It is
become
the
that
only
way.
thing I've ever seen that you
Anything
can take
is.
any puzzle piece and make it fit.
Yeah, it's like doing a jigsaw puzzle with a pair of scissors. Like, oh, it doesn't fit.
Exactly.
Hold on, it
Just cut
will.
that
It
corner
will.
off, Jeff. Just cut that corner off.
Yeah.
We'll glue it back on somewhere else.
This puzzle don't make any sense. I know the top part of the puzzle is sky. It's all blue. How you got blue down in the bottom left corner?
It's
Put
a
them scissors
delusion.
away.
I mean, but don't you see that happening? Like all the people that have put so much emphasis on their evidence are going to be listening to this trial. Be like, what about Taylor? Ask about the body cams.
What about Jack D?
Yes, ask about,
Where's Murphy?
yeah, didn't you see Murphy?
What the hell did you say to Adam?
Yes, that's going to be the biggest one. We want to know what was said to Adam. I mean, and we're not making fun of this, but
Adam.
It could
I was saying
very well.
Adam's gonna get up there and Adam's gonna say, "What's the deal, Adam?" It's like, I'd never seen Star Wars before, and Maddie told me how it ended.
I mean, it could be any of that. And can you imagine how mad people are gonna be because they put so much time and energy, and it could be just as like they've always said all along. Guy circles the residence 4 times. On the 4th time, he gets out, walks in, goes upstairs, kills 2 people, goes downstairs, kills 2 people. Witness sees the guy walking out through the slide or walking toward the slider. She opens her door 3 times. She's frozen in a shock phase. She hears these statements, wakes up 8 hours later, calls people over. They call 911, and the rest is infamy.
Yeah.
Cut and
And those
dry.
bitches did it.
Cut and dry. Nothing more, nothing less. Everything else, everything else around the house, all the leaves, all the footprints, all that, that is just going to be addition to the cake that they're building. You know, those are going to be the icing, and it's going to be the sprinkles on the cake, and it's going to be all those finishing products. The core of the cake is going to be inside the house.
It'll be interesting too to me to hear them talk about, because like right now we're at a point in time, we're in the future, or we're today. We don't have the it's easy to forget that they had nothing. They had a crime scene that was fresh, and then wait, this points to something. Okay, wait, that also points to this. This car points to this car over at WSU. This points to that. It starts to get, they start to put it all together, and then we see it, come together. We're sitting here like we come in here late to the party, and it's like, oh, hey, I know what's going on. I just got here, but I know what's going on. I've heard everything up until right now, but I think it'll be interesting to hear from the people who actually investigated it, that's an extreme responsibility. They've got, this isn't just one person that lost their life. This is 4 people, 4 families, 4 connected members of those families, friends of those people, 4 times what, you might, investigating a single murder. This is 4 times, the responsibility. And
that's the thing too that really frustrates me is, the families get forgotten about unless somebody wants to drag them through the mud. And I'm not, present company excluded. I mean, I'm not saying that. But I mean, you get somebody that just wants to drag Stacy Chapin through the mud, then they remember her name. But if they don't want to talk bad about her, she doesn't matter. And I'm just saying her, I mean,
PKC
nobody
said,
knows what those families, any of those families are going through.
Viviana did a video on the 2 a.m. reference. I just assume it may be in or approaching the REM stage. And
the REM stage. Huh. Now, I will tell you, let's see, I did my ego depletion and all that on Drunk Turkey. And then I did the latter one on Unfiltered Lucky. Whoo, Unfiltered Lucky's crowd is hard. Man, 950 comments and 850 of them hated me.
Wow.
I mean, they were terrible. I was like, Lucky, take it down. Take it down. These are your subs. He was like, no, I will not take it down. He said, it's like, no, You're telling your theory. You're doing it honestly. You did research to back it up. And you're going to learn that bad comments is just as important as good comments. Thanks, Lucky. He said, now stop reading them.
It's almost like these YouTube streets in a crime community have, like, say, I imagine like a bouncer that's at the door. It's like you're coming into, you're going to be part of the YouTube community. You're going to share your thoughts. He's like, all right, we got some rules now. Now you say anything you want negative about the family, but you don't plan on saying anything negative about BK, do you? Okay, you can come in. You can come in.
Oh, Lord, they were calling me names, and one of them asked me if I was drunk in my car. I mean, it was ugly.
Tom says, because they want to blame Dylan, and you didn't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is no way you will convince me. I don't care if they say it in the trial. I won't believe it. I'll be one of them.
In your opinion.
In my opinion, you cannot convince me that those 2 girls knew what happened.
Right.
You don't pass out and hyperventilate 8 hours after you know something.
Yeah.
You
and that's
pass
not easy
out.
to fake. That's not easy to
Yeah,
fake.
you pass out and hyperventilate when it happens.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I hope to make it to the trial, honestly. I mean,
I'm going to record it.
Wouldn't that be, I mean, my God has a sense of humor, so he might, say the night before or something and be like, okay, time to come home. You'll never know.
My God has a sense of humor and loves to gamble. I mean, hey, look what him and the devil did to Job. Well, I bet you $5 I can make him.
Well, anyways,
You
we're
know, it reminds me of like, it's interesting who, it's kind of like who, like, it's the wrong terminology, but who we root for in this, if you call it like a game. But it's also the same philosophy, I think, that goes into good story writing and movie making. How do we make the audience hate this character, love this character, And it's like, I guess we just have it's in our nature to figure out like, okay, this person, something about them I like more, even though that guy looks like Santa Claus. I don't like him, that Bill Thompson fella. That kind of a notion.
who
It's like,
doesn't
come
like
on.
Santa Claus?
I know
Bro?
that says a lot to me when you're dissing Santa Claus. But I don't know. It's
I
just
heard
it's a
he
bizarre
was
dynamic.
retiring in November.
See, where do these people get this freaking information, bro? Like,
And Idaho Green's retiring in December.
Yeah, he's retiring, and we're going to
wow.
start a band because he's a guitar player. So we're going to tour.
Tom says they call him Bad Santa.
That was a bad movie.
I thought it was hilarious.
Funny in the realm of like making fun of both sides equally, because we can talk about Santa Claus. But do you remember when? Oh my gosh, I laughed. JB Gunner was playing the rap song that supposedly was at the time he thought was BK rapping. When he stopped the song and he said, "Brian, stick to killing," it's like, oh my gosh, that's JB Gunner. You understand?
Yes.
Do I know him?
Go check him out.
Yeah, JB.
No words.
You'd know him the moment you see him. He's quite unique.
Well, y'all are going to be bored tonight. Y'all go watch my videos.
Yeah, I don't know about tonight. I don't know about tonight, but I will get there because I don't plan on doing anything more until probably Thursday or Friday. I'm kind of gonna take some time because I'm on call, so got to get as much sleep as I can. You never know if I'm gonna get called out.
Well, when I get my microphone, I'll call somebody and say, "Hey, where do I put this?"
12 gauge. You ever talk to these juveniles and you bring up the Idaho case?
Hey, that's an idea. That's an idea.
Get them talking. You'd be talking for like 12 hours straight. It's like they probably like, I have never talked about something for 12 hours straight. What have you gotten me into?
Well, like I said yesterday in that upload, I asked my nephew. He asked me. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm uploading a video on the Idaho 4." He's like, "What's that?"
Boy, that's a whole can of worms when somebody would ask that. It's like, oh God, no.
And I said, "Well, come on in, have a seat, listen to what I'm saying." So he sat on the other side of the computer, and I'm finishing up the upload, and I kind of informed him. And I told him the basis of it, and he's like, "People really think that he didn't do it." He's a criminal justice major, also, right? And I said, "No, there's people that think that the knife sheath was planted, and the cops, were targeting him, and that there's not enough evidence, and I was being objective, wasn't putting my spin on it or anything." And he's like, "I'm gonna have to go and watch your video to see your point of view." He said, "But just based on what I just heard you say, that's crazy that people wouldn't believe that he could potentially be guilty."
Yeah, that's a little incriminating when your DNA is in
19
between
year
two
old
dead girls.
19-year-old kid told me that. And I said, "You mean your age group doesn't sit around and talk about the Idaho 4 all the time? Or, you don't?"
Oh, that reminds me, the LSU Tigers, they have a discussion board on it. You wanna read a discussion board that's based on something besides like 4chan? I mean, it's the college kids at LSU. It's their discussion board. I've read every page of it, and they really have some insight. I read too much, I think.
I think so. No, he is not retiring. He's on the ballot for re-election. No one is running.
Okay, well, he's sitting in one of those cars with the lights on, waiting on retirement.
There you go.
Thanks, y'all.
So he's 19, criminology student.
Yeah, he's
That's
about to
wild.
graduate. He gets his associates in December, so he'll be a semester.
That's
A
interesting.
semester
It'll be
ahead of
interesting.
me.
Get his
He'll have
insight
his,
on this.
yeah, he'll have his associates, and I'll have my bachelor's. But that's what he told me. I said, "What have y'all ever talked about it?" He's like, "When did it happen?" I said, 2022. He's like, "What?" I was like, "You were still in high school. Y'all didn't hear about it. Y'all didn't talk about it. You haven't heard anything?" No.
Now I
I'm
did
really
email who's that? There's a professor at JSU. I emailed him to see if
Joseph Scott Morgan.
yeah, I emailed him to see if I could come and sit in and him discuss it in his class. See, I'm only 20 minutes from JSU.
So what did he say?
I didn't get a response.
You know who supposedly has
It
good
probably went to spam.
the lady that's on Dago's panel,
Uh-huh.
Mind of Monsters or whatever.
Yeah.
She supposedly has good connection with him. You might try her.
Hell, I'm just gonna ride up there one day. I did get in touch with Joyce. Do y'all know who Joyce Vance is? Joyce Vance was state attorney for Alabama under Barack Obama, I think. Anyway, I did get in touch with her. She teaches at Alabama Law School, University of Alabama. I got in touch with her, and so I'm waiting on her to get through election. I'm like, I won't need you then. But if she calls,
You
I'm still
know,
gonna go.
well, let me give you a little insight. Do not record any of this on your cell phone. Go on Amazon. They have a little handheld thing with a grip, and it's a little camera that you can hold up, and it has a little mic that good quality. And while you're interviewing these folks, you'll get a great quality interview rather than having it on your cell phone.
Oh, yay.
Because your cell phone doesn't give. I'm going to buy one of those on Amazon. Do you know what I'm talking about, Jeff?
Yeah,
Mr. Microphone.
DJI. There's a new one that's really good. I saw it demonstrated. You can put it on your desk and it'll follow you around as you walk. And I was so convinced that this woman that was demonstrating it, I was convinced it was her husband running the camera because it was following her just like a human would. And she's like picked it up. She's like, no. And then we started talking about it. I was like, so it tracks you? Yeah. I said, will it track an object? She said, I don't know. Let's find out. So she picked up a can of cat food. You have to identify the item first to the camera, and then she'd move it up and down and around. The camera would follow the cat food.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's
I thought about
powerful
getting
camera.
one of those, the little rolly things that you can put on the screen and it'll roll around with the person's face. My daughter's daddy died of a heart attack on Christmas right after David died in October. So I told her that for New Year's I was going to get 2 of those rolly things and we'd have a family reunion.
Are you talking about a drone, a little tiny drone with a camera that follow you around?
They're on wheels, and they roll around and they like follow you around and tell you what to do, and you know what I'm talking about, Gage.
Like the vacuum cleaner, the
But they're
little
on a
round one?
stand, and it's like a notepad or something. It's like a tablet on 2 wheels, and it rolls around.
Are you from the future?
I'm lost.
Is that a future invention?
No, they had it on the little bitty short woman that plays on
Chat, can y'all help us out here?
What you talking about, Willis?
Okay.
It's kind of like a laptop
It's
on
2
wheels.
wheels. It's got 2 wheels and a pole. And then you put your tablet on that pole and you can FaceTime and it rolls around. And so I was going to put my son on one and her daddy on one and set them at the table to have a family reunion.
Oh, okay. I can kind of picture that, but I've never
Sounds
seen
like a
one.
bicycle without a seat. That sounds painful.
Sounds like
wheels
a
with a
little
pole.
scooter. Yeah.
The little short lady on NCIS, she rolled around on one.
Like a Segway? Like a
Yeah, except for it's not a
Bart, the
person.
mall cop would ride?
It's not a person. You just got around with a tablet and their face on it.
Huh.
I'll have to make a video.
You have to send me an
Yeah, you
email with
do
it. Do a
because
video with it.
Yeah, I'm clueless. I'm clueless.
So we don't have Christmas. So
guys, it's been 3 hours and 30 minutes. I don't know who's still here. I'm sure it shows 12, but I don't know. Hey, that's
that's a good number.
Yeah, that's a good number. Yeah.
Hey, you know what,
But-
12? I was thinking, real quick, I was thinking you ought to put you could put a dance video out, like where you show the dance steps, and you could call it 12 steps.
That's cool. I like that. 12 steps of 12 gauge.
You know what's getting bad? And I was talking to my boss today, and I don't know. I said something dumb, and I said it was almost like I was on a live, right? And I almost said, "Damn it, 12 gauge," instead of using my name. You know what I mean? Like, did you really just say that? And I almost call myself 12 gauge, and she knows that I do this channel, right? She probably would have started laughing, but I'm getting to the point where, just like this guy was calling himself Jinnkid, he stopped calling himself Ali. He started calling himself Jinnkid. And I was thinking to myself when I was watching that earlier, I was like, damn, I don't need to start crossing fiction with reality. You know, I am not 12 gauge. I am my government name.
Yeah.
Herbert.
Well, you guys,
Is that Herbert? No, his name's not Herbert.
I am warning label. I am warning label.
Herbert. Herbert and who?
My
was the
name's
other one?
H.I. McDonough. He called me
okay,
Herbert.
got you. Herbert. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go do research.
All right. You have a good night, Nina. Thank you for being up here.
All right. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you. See you again soon.
All right.
All right, 12 gauge. I'm going to jump off. I got to go to the bathroom and I got to go to bed. In that order.
All right, buddy. You have a good night.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye. The rest of you that are still in chat, I hope that you enjoyed this long and detailed live stream. Like I said, I will be doing the court case regarding this crime that we started talking about at the very beginning on Friday at 8 p.m. So please hit the notification button if you want to see that. You want to be notified of the time that the live stream is going to be airing. If you're not a subscriber yet, please hit the subscribe button at the right-hand corner. And if you enjoyed the content, feel free to hit the like button. And also, if you're enjoying being a part of the Shooters Clique, that's what I call my group of people in the membership area, go and take a look. See if you'd be willing to sign up for a membership. I will be giving out 5 free membership probably in a couple of days on my next live. So if you're in the chat, you could potentially win a free 30-day membership of the Shooters Clique. There's also merchandise. Take a look around, see if there's something that you enjoy, something that you could potentially give as a gift. I don't know very many people that know 12 gauge, but who knows? You might enjoy the gift and the name, the emblem, whatever. Just adds a little touch to it. But once again, thank you so much for being here. And like I always say, can you dig it? Can you dig it? If you can't, it's time to get you a bigger shovel. Maestro, cue that music.